Okay.
We're back, everybody.
Hey, welcome to a new episode.
Man.
Of Half Baked, Half Race Show.
Yeah.
I'm Chris.
I'm Austin.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, hi.
I'm not dying this week. That feels pretty nice.
I figured, I'd give you a break from dying this week, and I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die this time.
What's wrong with you this week?
I'm just really tired.
Yeah, me too. But I literally came here straight from work, so.
Me too.
Literally left. You didn't have to go anywhere.
I still haven't left work.
Yeah, that's true. Austin hasn't left work. I just left work.
Yeah.
And then came straight here to record the podcast. Two Austins worked to record the podcast.
Yes.
No less.
No less, no further, no yes.
So yeah. So what'd you do last week, bud?
No, I don't know. Not much, man. We played a little Risk of Rain last night.
Yeah, we did.
We got you unlocked the Artificer. That's
yeah.
So now you unlocked all the characters that are currently
I
available.
don't think I like the Artificer so much. I played a little bit more after
she
you got
definitely
disconnected.
needs some balancing. That's the
consensus. She does all the damage. It's just like you know me. I don't like the caster archetype. Like
yeah. I mean, me and you are always just going to be more geared towards melee builds.
Yeah.
And I completely agree with you that I also want another melee build character.
The goddamn minor 69.
Or the chef. I will also take the chef as a meme character. So that was fun.
Yeah.
What'd you do this week, man?
Well, I went and saw Detective Pikachu last week.
Oh, Detective Pikachu?
Detective Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, man. Detective Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool.
Yes.
What'd you think about it while you knocked the fuck out of the microphone?
Yeah, whatever. It was all right. It's clearly a kid's movie. The story was like I knew pretty much exactly what was going to happen in that plot 20 minutes in to that movie.
So it's a very cut and dry, it's a paint by the numbers type.
Yeah, me and my friend who I went and saw were they're just we were both just like, oh, we know exactly what is going to happen in this movie. And you know what?
I'd be shocked otherwise.
Nobody listening to this podcast. I'm just gonna spoil what happens to you. Do you still want to go see it with your girlfriend Tori?
Yeah, I want to go see it. But I mean, honestly, we all know that it is going to be just a kids movie. That's fine. I did want to ask you something straight out the gate with spoilers before you get into your little spoilerific spoiling.
It's not that spoilerific.
Yeah, exactly. I read articles where they were trying to praise it, saying that it set up a sequel type situation to where they could do more movies with the next one being the storyline from Red and Blue, like the original games.
Possibly.
And I know you didn't. I know you haven't played those extensively.
It's actually even weirder than that.
Really? Yeah. Explain it. Let me just to give you a place to start from. That's my question to you, and start from there and explain what people mean whenever they say that.
Essentially, this story takes place. I'm pretty sure this story just straight up takes place in the actual Pokemon universe.
Like the actual game universe?
Yeah, the actual game. No, not only that. The actual movie, the animated movies and television show universe.
Oh, those sons of bitches!
I am pretty sure Ash Ketchum is a character in this universe somewhere.
Oh,
because okay, so this is where we're getting spoilers.
So where how have you heard that?
U2 is just in it.
Okay.
U2 is just in this movie, and they essentially explain what happened in that first Pokemon movie is where Mewtwo came from.
Okay.
But I mean, that's the same backstory of the game, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, also, the other thing you have to keep in mind for context sake in what's happening right now with the movies and everything like that, you do know that they're remaking that first Pokemon movie.
Yes.
It's really bad. If you haven't seen it yet, pull up a trailer. They're going full CGI with it, and it looks weird because they tried to do a stylized thing, and it kind of looks like the what is it? The 3DS graphics. The chibi, half chibi, half not chibi art style.
Why would you do that?
So what people are, I swear to God, I bet it's because they think that that's what people are familiar with right now.
But this movie went photorealistic with the Pokemon, and it works. Because Pokemon
maybe they were hedging their bets. Maybe they did. Maybe
some
they made
Pokemon just look freaky as shit. It's great.
Yeah, maybe they made both movies, and they were like, well, either way, we're gonna get a winner. We're gonna go with both extremes, and we're gonna see where it shakes out.
I guess, man.
The thing with Pokemon is that you have to remember is that they constantly make business decisions, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense sometimes.
But they
and
still just make billions of dollars. Pokemon is the best.
It's kind of just been a fluke that's been running forever, where they don't really have to. I don't want to use the term because a lot of people complain that they're lazy and they don't try anything new. But I mean, like at the same time, it's like they have an IP that just prints money.
Yeah.
So there's really no reason to.
I mean, like I think we said even on the show before, like that it's the highest grossing media thing, like media ever. Like,
so it's not really a question of like, what can we do to innovate the brand? It's more of like, nah, just keep it going, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and you really can't blame them for that. I still think it's very weird that Illumination Entertainment is going to be making a Mario movie. I really hope to God that after
they bought DreamWorks. What did DreamWorks before?
I don't. The whole thing is that I really hope after the Sonic the Hedgehog fiasco, they just look at that and they go, maybe we shouldn't do that.
No, they're still going to do it.
Because they're clearly still going to do it. Just like how
it's going to be that
just how
shitty
Sonic,
Illumination style animation.
Look, let's be honest here. The whole I thought it was really weird whenever they were like, oh no, we're going to fix it. Like with the Sonic the Hedgehog thing. That you can't fix that.
No, it's almost worse now. They are going to fix it because I at least would
you still can't fix
how many trash fire.
How many months out are we?
I don't know. I think it's like mid.
Dude, there's a reason why you don't do that. There's a reason why you don't do the whole delaying thing. Like, do you remember? I was working at Target a few years ago, to go on a side tangent real quick to talk about movies.
Yeah.
As we perpetually get off track here.
It's the point of
I know. There is no track.
It's not radio.
It's not. Don't you tell people what I do. So, yeah, I was working at Target at the time back down in Louisiana, and as you recall, the second G.I. Joe movie was about to drop. Yeah. The dumpster fire that was, and that was the dumpster fire that year. And they knew it was a dumpster fire, except they pulled the plug on it and they pushed it back. Except they pushed it back way later than like any other movie had before. And that's the thing that I want to point out here is that whenever you're thinking about...
it got delayed by like years, didn't it?
It got delayed by about a good year. I'd say that. But the point, it's not even about the amount of time that it was delayed. It was about the fact of how far into production that it was already. The movie was not only... The movie was done.
Yeah.
The marketing was done. The marketing had full on, like, they had people...
Remember that movie came out, I was like, wait.
They already had release dates out for it. Yeah, and that caused that whole situation. I was working at Target, and we had to pull all the toys off the shelves. Like, this is a kid's property, and that's the same deal why it's a problem with the Sonic the Hedgehog thing, is that, like a general... an adult movie is one problem.
Toys have been made, probably, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
With that old design.
Like, let's use John Wick as another example, just because that dropped recently.
Yeah.
If you wanted to push that back, yeah, people would get upset, but you don't have merchandise tied to that.
Yeah.
With that, you can argue that, like, there's the Fortnite
even then
thing.
When it's the product is Keanu Reeves.
Right.
You can't, like, change Keanu Reeves' like face or look.
But like you're not going to see Disney ever pull the plug on, like, let's say Toy Story. Like right now, if they were like push back Toy Story by like a year,
no,
it's already done.
Yeah.
It's already done. They've been spamming social media.
They got those shitty toys.
They got everybody all hyped up for it. Everybody's ready to go see it. People have probably already bought their tickets for it.
Yeah,
honestly, like diehard Disney fans are already like setting up where they're going to go at the Cinnabar.
Those toys are really worth this shit. We looked at.
What are you talking about?
Whenever
we went to the
Walmart?
yeah. Well, I mean, really that was at Walmart though. Like I wonder if like the Toy Story toys at Target are like better. No? You don't think so?
Toys, man.
I mean, I was disgusted with so we've been over this before, the whole little Forky thing for Toy Story 4. I think that they jumped the shark whenever they just had the balls to
make a toy
based on a toy like an arts and crafts toy.
Yeah.
Like, because everybody was praising it, like, the internet was praising Toy Story 4. People were like, oh, yeah, it's great that, like, this showcases, like, some kids who don't have, the means to have, like, a real toy, made up toys like the little fork thing, those are just as valid. But then Disney goes right back around.
It's like, hey, come buy this shit.
Yeah, but you can buy this for $12.
You still want to buy this shit?
Yeah.
Great. Buy it.
That's stupid.
Give us your money.
Who the fuck is even buying that?
Give us your money.
Who's even buying that at this point?
They don't care. Give us your money.
No, like, the kids even... Are kids even buying that?
No, that's going to be the one nobody buys.
Yeah.
There's always that toy
right.
like on the shelf. It's like... you see it always with Star Wars action figures where it's like...
Well, it's because
they like instantly like the Han Solo,
right.
Luke, and Boba Fett are just gone.
Yeah,
like,
but like
gone.
the dude with like
like you would think they just sent like one to the store, and there's like 15 million of like Admiral Akbar.
No, but it's because with the Star Wars in particular, to single that out, like the dude with a butt for a face, like nobody's gonna buy that one.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to buy that toy.
Except for like hardcore collectors.
But even then, you should know that only hardcore collectors are going to buy that. And so you shouldn't ship the equal number of like butt-faced dudes to...
Well, you got to create the scarcity.
I guess. And that's why we don't buy Funko Pops.
No.
Consume product and get excited for next product.
God, fuck Funko Pops.
How is that still going?
Look good.
How is that still going?
Because people are retarded.
Like no, like really, no, seriously. Like, yes or no? Do you believe that Funko Pop is? Because I've had this thought before. Do you think that Funko Pop is just still chugging along because so many people bought into it, thousands of dollars?
Oh yes. Oh no.
Like it's
no
made,
doubt.
So here's my theory. Like it's a separate market now. Like it's not even about people who are buying into the market now. It's a closed market, which is illegal.
It's essentially the new Beanie Babies.
It's the new Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
It's exactly like the new Beanie Babies, where it's just like this whole thing. It's
like,
exactly like Beanie Babies, actually. That's a great analogy.
Yeah, essentially, it's like, maybe these would be valuable one day. Plus, for a bunch of other people, it's like, plus they're just a cheap option for me to show how nerdy I am. Yay.
Like, I get it. It's cool if you want to have like knickknacks at your desk or something like that. It's just
if you want to actually spend some money and get like a decent looking figurine. If you
right.
Want a figurine.
Like,
you can get some decent looking ones that aren't that much more than a Funko Pop.
I don't know. Well, some of these Funko Pops are like really expensive. I saw one that was like forgot what it was, but it was like an absolute trash like character. But because it was like a limited release, it was worth like $500.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, and it was like nothing. Like I don't even remember what the character was.
Literally the new Beanie Babies.
Yeah, it's exactly like the new Beanie Babies. Yeah, that's great. How many times are you going to drop your phone?
I don't know.
Okay. On this episode of Chris Drops His Phone.
Yes.
So, yeah, was there anything else going on with that, or anything else you did this week?
Let's take a peek.
Detective Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Takes Pikachu.
Yeah.
Just still playing around with my new graphics card.
That's good. I saw you were playing.
Did you get Steep for free?
Steep.
Yeah, I forgot to mention. I read to say, Ubisoft was just giving away Steep.
On what?
On Uplay.
I don't want to do that.
I mean, it's fine. Uplay's fine. Uplay isn't as bad as because Uplay actually like closes when you launch a program. It doesn't just stay open in the background the entire time.
My Origin account, my Uplay account, and one of my other accounts. And this is why I am super I'm not trying to be a contrarian here. I'm not trying to be like Steam is the only option. All I'm saying is that all three of those accounts have consistently, more than once, gotten hacked. To the point where I had to call someone, a millennial. A millennial, had to call someone, and as you know, that is the deepest grievance that you can have.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So I had to call somebody to get that back, and it was bad. And I did that with the Uplay and this last time, and then I realized the Origin has a 2-step authentication, but Uplay doesn't.
Yeah.
So I got back into it, and then it instantly got hacked again.
I think they do now.
Okay.
Then I think they probably made to enter my phone number for.
I mean, granted, I don't have anything on there. I don't think. I think I've only put I put a throwaway card or something on there once to buy the one game that I bought on Uplay. The other thing is that it was technically
most of the only games I have are games I just bought through Steam.
Right, that too. Also, it was a net gain, I guess. I've beat The Division, but I didn't beat it. The guy who hacked my account.
Oh, he finished The Division.
Oh, he finished The Division 1 for me.
God damn it.
And I have a lot of the achievements. And I was like, you dumb bitch. Because I took that right back.
So yeah, just played around my graphics card more. Got Steep. He looks right.
That's good.
I think everything. I think you ever have that feeling when you get all your components in there, you feel like there's that period where they're kind of honestly kind of settling.
Wait, what?
I know. I feel like when I put in a bunch of new components in my computer, I feel like there's this period where they're all kind of settling.
Oh yeah.
And it's good. It sounds stupid and makes me sound stupid, but it's just that period where it's all the new parts are just getting used to working with each other.
No, I mean whenever you tell somebody who isn't familiar,
I think it finally hit that point where they're all actually
There's a burn-in period. There's a burn-in period where and it makes sense to anybody who's worked on computers or built their own builds or anything like that, where there's so many different components that you can get to put together, and there's so many different combinations that. It's really a crapshoot. I mean, there's more often than not, you're going to have a situation where shit isn't going to work together, and they're not going to want to play nice together because it wasn't built from the ground up to do that.
There's sometimes I do feel bad. It's I can't believe this game isn't optimized properly. It's man, I don't envy anybody who has to try to optimize games for PC, which is
it's a crapshoot. It's completely not a crapshoot.
So okay, so here, let me explain this. You gotta make it be able to run on like a system that has like two 2080s in it.
Yeah. And you have to also make it work.
Yeah, SLI'd.
You have to also make that same game work with like a 660.
Yeah.
Good job.
With like, yeah, like just like,
with like a core duo.
Yeah, and make it like at the very least run.
Yeah.
On that system.
Run. Yeah. Huge air quotes.
That's what I was experiencing for years. It's like, well, the game, I can boot it up, I can play it.
You were in that special league of not only making shit work, but like editing INI files. You were doing like extra shit.
Oh no, that was way back then.
I know, but I just remember that.
Okay, most vividly. When I first built that computer, because that was just the most budget build PC
and
to start out.
My first build, there's always shit where like it just doesn't make any sense. Like my first motherboard, like I knew how a motherboard was supposed to be, but this motherboard wasn't like any of the other motherboards in the sense that the SODIMMs for the RAM, they didn't go 1, 3, 2, 4. They just went 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and it doesn't tell you that. You have to like look into the manual for that, and there's no reason for it to do that since like every other motherboard does the other standard because that's the standard.
Yeah.
And that's the other problem with computers is that nothing's standardized. Yeah. It's just all stuff that people are like, we'll just do this.
That is like literally the only thing I'll give Apple. It's like, man, at least a shit ton of stuff is just
the walled garden approach really just does make it to where they don't have to. We know where everything's going to work, but at the same time, shit still isn't optimized unless it's made in-house by Apple. It's the opposite. It's the opposite of, well, we can't optimize it because they won't give us the keys to the castle.
Yeah. Because they won't give us the tools.
So the first-party software works really well because it's all developed in-house and they know exactly which components they're going to be running.
What they can and can't do. Right?
But whenever it's like Adobe or something like that, Adobe has like a ton of problems because the Adobe software suites of like Photoshop and things like that, primarily used by Mac users, but they don't have full brain to, optimize it. And whenever they ask for it, Apple always has this like mentality of like, well, no, like you can use our programs. And it's like, no.
But we don't
my company that I work for bought me a fucking license to Adobe.
I would like to use Adobe.
I would like to use Adobe, please.
Like, nah, man.
Just do whatever, man.
Use this shit. It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
It's like, but Adobe, I have that.
It's like, I'm sorry, you don't want to use Final Cut?
No.
No one wants to use Final Cut.
No one wants to use Final Cut. Final Cut's terrible.
I mean, it's all the same shit.
Yeah.
It's just terrible. It just doesn't have as many options. It's always the thing. It's just like, and movie. Slap the space bar to make movie.
To edit the podcast is just a freeware video editing software.
Oh, yeah, like Audacity or something.
Yeah, it just works.
Yeah. So.
Anything else I did in my week? Just fucked around my laptop.
You still have a laptop?
I mean, not laptop. Your system. You know what I mean. Yeah. Sorry, I'm very tired. We're both very tired. Low energy.
Yeah, we're having a chill, comfy, low energy.
Lo-fi podcast
to study and mow your lawn to.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I do in my week besides just working.
Yeah.
I should be actually have more free time.
We're getting towards the end of May here, which means we're going to be able to be a little bit more freed up. Free time, which I'm looking forward to.
We're about to get into the slow season for both of our respective businesses.
Well,
well, mine definitely
more slow. Yeah, yours absolutely.
Into that slow season.
So
all the fucking servers are already complaining.
Wait, what?
All the servers are just already complaining.
So
you're not gonna make any money. He's like,
they ain't making money. I guess with our weeks out of the way, was there any news?
Yeah, that was plenty. There's actually plenty of news this week.
Plenty of news. Let's get right into the news.
Okay, we're gonna fucking sued. Anyway. So you want to talk about a little bit about E3?
What?
Well, we'll talk a little about E3.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're getting up to E3. That's another thing that's happening next month. Beginning of June.
So it's all happening out end of June.
June like 13th.
Let's see. June 11th actually.
June 11th.
Officially begins June 11th and runs through that Thursday to June 13th.
And me and you had a thing for a while back whenever we both worked at a restaurant. I just want to interlude here with our tradition. We had a thing called E3BQ, which is where we watch E3 while having a barbecue. It was back whenever E3 was a fun thing and not super serious business thing. Because I could have sworn, didn't it used to be later in the day? or something? Or did we just watch it later in the day?
We just watched it later in the day.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll need to do
I think we always just watched the...
The problem is that this year is that time schedules are going to be very hard, and I don't know why they do it like this anymore. They should really just move it into prime time whenever everybody like gets off.
I mean, it's because it's still at its heart. They're letting in like just regular people now. And also, it's still it's a trade show. Like,
it is a trade show. No, it's totally a trade show and everything like that. But at the same time, like it's hurting productivity because like I'm not gonna be doing shit that week. Me and Derek have already said that we're gonna just front load as much as we can because like there's gonna be an hour period where we're just gonna be watching shit.
Oh yeah,
that's what happened with the Pokemon announcement. We watched like the 20-minute direct at work.
Well, I wish I had that job.
Yeah, so
I was probably flipping burgers.
Oh. I mean, you can listen
in a
to
legitimate restaurant. I
legit.
don't work at fast food. I fucking refuse to do that goddamn shit.
Well, no, you're like 30.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
There's plenty of people that do that though. I'm not gonna be one of them. Ever.
No, don't do that. Don't work at McDonald's.
Oh, so what the hell is it? Popcorn on my phone. Anyway, so E3 is happening that week. A lot of people just not going to the E3 this year.
Yeah, a lot of like half that was the other thing. Yeah, half the people didn't fucking show up. Is Sony still not going?
Yeah, Sony's not going.
So
EA's not going to be there. EA won't be having an official press conference.
Who the fuck cares?
I think they're going to be. I think they're going to do some like live streams during the.
This is definitely the year of the will they.
And I'm sure Sony is probably going to do another state of play around that time too.
See, here's my problem with Sony with them not showing up to E3 this year is that Microsoft is making them come to E3 because I feel like Sony let it loose way too early that they will not be going to E3 in a traditional sense this year.
Oh, yeah, wait.
And then Xbox is just like, okay, well, we're announcing our new console. And then Sony's like, oh, well, don't do that because I don't know if you recall, but there was a little system called the Xbox 360 that launched before the PS3,
yeah,
and then did way better that generation, mostly because the PS3 then launched at $599 US.
It's a premium product.
$599 US.
So people are going to actually be there. There's going to be the PC gaming show.
Yeah, that's always pretty good. They consistently do that well.
I don't know who the hell is Limited Run Games.
Who the fuck cares?
Okay.
Oh wait, Limited Run Games?
Yeah.
Wait, never mind. I don't want to shit on them. They're actually really cool.
Okay.
I don't know. They're
probably having their own press conference.
They're a publisher. They publish indie titles. They publish indie titles that. So to give you a quick rundown of what Limited Run Games does, is Limited Run Games is a really cool company that for collectors especially. Let's say you have an indie game.
Oh yeah, they do
limited runs of physical releases of indie games. So you get some super special editions. It's like think of a special edition, but one that you can only get for like a week.
Yeah. And
then it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, so they're gonna have their own press conference apparently. I don't know how long it's gonna be or what they're gonna tell.
That's really good to hear. I hope that they're announcing that they made enough money through their current business ventures to actually start publishing outright games instead of partnering with indie developers.
They've got Ubisoft gonna be there, Square Enix, and Nintendo's gonna have their usual direct on the Tuesday morning for E3 direct.
Right. So Nintendo clearly has some stuff that they need to show off. They've got Mario Maker 2 coming out, which is going to be a great stopgap to get us to Pokemon coming out in November, most likely. They're going to have to show some Animal Crossing stuff. That'd be really cool to have that come out in November as well, because they did say that was coming out this year. So we'll see about that. That could always tentatively change. Microsoft, I don't really know what they're doing.
I guess they're possibly going to talk about.
They're going to talk about Xbox, Scarlet, I guess. They're going to talk about Xbox.
Possibly their streaming thing since Stadia. Since
my understanding of that is that
they're not load all over GDC about that.
Yeah, my understanding about that though, the whole like air streaming thing, is that I think that they were you're talking about the partnership with Sony and everything, right?
Oh no, that's another story.
I just think the whole the two big boys for the console developers.
I mean, we can get into it right now.
Yeah, we can jump into that real quick in just a second. But I just wanted to preface. Let me start that off then with this. From my understanding, you can correct me if I'm wrong. The big boys, as far as console makers go, with the streaming thing, I think that they're getting ready to start thinking about that later down the line.
Yeah.
Whereas Google's like ready to launch it.
Yeah, Google's ready.
So
Google's
that's not good, at all.
I mean, it's anything like I don't know. Like I see maybe what Google wants to do. They just want to be out in front of it.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, well, this is just going to only get better as time goes on. It will be, but we can say we were the first ones to really like get out there with this first in like a way that like is like available to the masses.
I mean, if it's able to be done in this current time right now,
I guess Google,
I guess Google.
I've tried the PlayStation Now service.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's passable.
It's passable. Yeah.
Right. But so if Google like funnels their money into it.
Playing a single player game, because like they picked a good game to test it with. Was the Assassin's Creed Odyssey? Is like a single player game. There's not.
That's my other thing is that they haven't said
dodge and move and stuff like that. It's got action based combat, but it's like you're not really relying on super like.
There's two things
in reactions.
There's two things with that, and that's a very good point. And I wanted to talk about that real quick. Twofold. One, they didn't show anything for multiplayer games, which is a good idea because of what you were just talking about. Two, I feel like multiplayer games in and of themselves are made for the lowest common denominator as far as like build specifications go and as far as like system requirements go, because they're trying to do the biggest thing. I could see Google maybe funding a multiplayer game down the line specifically for their service.
Yeah, for that.
To bring in like people, but it's going to look way different. I just don't even know what that would look like because
like latency is going to be huge. Because it's like I told you I tried that Shadow service.
Yeah.
This thing where like essentially they build you a PC.
Yeah.
And you just live stream the video from that PC to play it on your console.
That's so fucking.
I mean, and it worked perfectly fine. Like any single player game, it worked perfectly fine for.
Yeah.
And the second I tried to boot up Apex, it was Apex. Boot up Apex, it was like just Chug City.
Yeah.
Like I was playing a slideshow. It looked really pretty, but I was playing a slideshow. It was worse than on my like toaster of a system at the time.
Jesus.
Like yeah, it was unplayable.
So yeah, I don't really know what the end goal is there, and then Nintendo's over here just going like, I don't give a single fuck, and they're just over here just keeping portable gaming alive.
Yeah.
Because I mean, mobile gaming happened, and then everybody tried to switch over to that, and then they realized that was just a bad idea.
They tried to bring their normal
right. As far as bringing over normal console gaming experience, it's like nobody wants that on their phone.
No,
like nobody.
Especially because you need a controller for that.
Right, and nobody wants to carry around a controller with them. So it's all. I don't know what's happening.
No,
I don't have any idea what's happening. I don't think it's going to be a very big E3.
No, I don't think it is.
I think it's going to be a very.
I think Microsoft's going to talk about their new Xbox. I don't think they're going to announce it. I don't think they're going to announce what it's officially called. I don't think they're going to show what it looks like.
At this point,
they're just going to talk about pretty much like what Sony did with that one, like that was that magazine interview or something like that.
Yeah,
or was that interview where they talked about the PlayStation 5? Just like, hey,
oh, you're talking about the one with the loading with the
it's like here's some cool stuff that we can do with the new Xbox that we're developing. And we'll have more information on it at a later time.
I agree that is probably what is going to happen. The only other way I could see that happening is if one of the other one plays chicken with them and goes like, oh, we could see this as a potential, like, we can show this now and get people hype right now about it. But at the same time, you're also working an uphill battle because of the big elephant in the room. Nobody wants a new console right now.
Yeah, like
I don't really think anybody.
Everything, man.
They did. They got greedy and they were just like, well, no, we can make a new console and make it better.
Well, no, I almost feel like the current consoles when they came out were. I almost feel like even then people were just like, I think these are just too soon. Like I feel like
that's way too soon.
I feel like there's still more juice that could have been rang out of the 360 PS3.
Back to our optimization argument. It's like this is a closed system. A console is a closed system. You know exactly what everybody's going to have. Give the developers better tools to optimize their games properly.
Yeah.
And like, just turn off the fucking ambient occlusion and all that other bullshit. Like nobody cares. I don't care about these little particle effects.
Stuff, it looks really good.
It does look really good. It looks great. It does look good. But like, I mean, if it's at the cost of like, look, whenever you're playing,
it's like you don't care about the capital gains tax, so you like have
get affected by
worry about the capital gains tax.
My whole thing is just like, if you're playing on a console, you're making caveats. Like, I'm sorry. Like, and you know that. And there's nothing wrong with that.
You're sacrificing, like, essentially, like, the highest tier. And for like, it's cheaper. It is just straight up cheaper and convenient.
Right.
It's just cheaper.
You can still buy, in this day and age, I really
you're
want to
getting a thing that you know will run your games and they will play them.
And you can still buy them used sometimes.
Yes.
We're very much clearly getting to the end of that.
Oh, streaming's going to
kill that super hard. GameStop's about to fucking.
GameStop's going to do.
GameSpot's already selling off a lot of their stock. Like, not like stock as a company. I mean, like stock, like their video games, like the actual. Because they'll like rent out stuff. Because somebody here actually told me They're like, yeah, I rented Red Dead Redemption 2, and they're already trying to like sell it to me for like $12. And it's like, oh. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, I guess they're checking out. Good for them, I guess.
Red Dead Redemption 2, just real quick.
Sure.
Possibly Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC. It appeared on somebody's LinkedIn account, which there's been like there've been like legit like leaks through that before.
Yeah.
They appeared on somebody's resume on LinkedIn. It's like, hey, I worked on the conversion of Red Dead Redemption to PC. Like I worked on the console on the port.
That's
so
cool.
Possible Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC, which makes me very happy.
So then let me ask you this: do you think there'll be a first-person mode?
Isn't the first-person mode in the console version?
You're right. That was a test, and you passed. I'm just trying to think of what kind of because they got to do a gimmick.
Right. The gimmick is going to be Red Dead Redemption on PC. That's all I want.
That's all you got to do for PC. Now for the PS5, there has to be a gimmick.
Red Dead Redemption on PS5.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough.
It'll just load faster.
Apparently, like, see, that's and that right there brings up my problem with the PS5 as a concept right now. It's like, don't tell me that the only benefit's that it loads faster because I do not care. Do not care even a little bit. So, and that's my other thing is that like it seems like the whole thing with the murmurs right now is that the main thing for the PS5, as far as Sony's concerned, as far as like what they want to get in your head about getting hyped for, backwards compatibility with the entire PS4 library.
Yes.
I don't care. I do not
care.
A
lot of people do.
No, I get it. I care. Don't get me wrong.
Especially right now, I think that's honestly a smart move too, because like I said, nobody's even ready for new consoles. That's a smart thing. It's like, well, I'll get some new games with the PS5.
That's the whole thing.
I can still play all the PS4 games.
Exactly, and that's what eases usually the transition into a new console, is that you can play all the old ones, right? Like from the PS2, like from the PS1 to the PS2, you can play all the PS1 games.
Yep.
PS3, fuck you.
Well, at first.
Yeah, at first.
And it was bad.
But, yeah. I mean, you just got to give people the option to do that. Because, I mean, I don't want to have, like, every single PlayStation just in case, you know?
Yeah.
And I do, but...
I could just emulate.
What?
You could just emulate.
Yeah, you could just emulate. PS1 emulates terribly, though.
Yeah.
In fact, the graphics engine on PS1 is just
really weird.
Just jank. Half the time, the PS1 doesn't do what it wants to do.
Yeah.
As far as the
just bleed all over the place.
Just dithering everywhere. I forgot where I was going with that originally. We're really tired. We're phoning this in super hard. But we're gonna chug on. What other news story? Hit me with another news story. Let's keep going.
We'll get into that Microsoft Sony thing real quick.
Yeah, let's do that.
Apparently they're just working on a thing that it's more once again with streaming. They need to help support both their own streaming services.
They're basically shoring up their defenses. They're holding.
They're essentially shoring up their defenses against Google.
It's the Twin Towers where the dwarf guy is like I could do that, and he's like, "And my axe," and they're fighting against Google.
Ooh,
yeah, you got what I meant.
Sure, bud.
Yeah, they do the thing, fantasy stuff. I'm a nerd. I like nerdy things.
Yeah, you should do, bud.
Thanks, man.
It's just that it's a strategic partnership, as they're calling it.
I think that all it amounts to is
essentially it's going to be essentially there's going to be Sony kind of like essentially is Microsoft allowing Sony to kind of experiment with Microsoft's Azure. They call it, the Azure data centers. Yeah. Essentially just allowing Sony access to those. In order to experiment with streaming stuff. I think is the main crux of the thing.
I mean, the main problem with this is that it's an in-sum game. And it's going to basically come down to how many servers they have to stream stuff. And there's no winning whenever your opponent's Google. Google literally has...
We're in the end game now.
Yeah. I mean, the data servers from back in, 2014 that they put up in, the desert or wherever. You know, there's, those mile-long ones or whatever. Like, they've got, super data centers.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no competing with that. It's just... if it does go the way of streaming, which I don't know if it will or not, I just don't know. I don't know if the convenience is going to outweigh whatever people want to do. Also, this is going to involve. It's very interesting because it's finally giving us a glimpse of what I'm going to call what might be the future. Because for a while now we've been kind of stagnated with, that's just this is still. These are just newer products that look the same as what we grew up with.
Yeah.
We're finally getting to the point in our lives where we're going to finally have that jump where it's going to be like, oh no, I don't like that. It's gonna be the thing where
haven't made a Fortnite, so
yeah, well, that was the first one for me as well. But I mean, it might be a thing where it's just like, oh no, I like having physical media, and everybody be like, oh fuck you, Grandpa, just stream.
Oh, no,
it.
I totally got over that now. I don't buy anything physical.
So that's my question though: is that like, will people get over that for games though?
I mean, when's the last time you bought a physical game?
I hate physical games. I hate buying physical games. I hate having they take up space, they depreciate in value like nothing else. They remind you that you paid $60 for a physical thing that now is just a key.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I'm completely fine. My whole thing is that we're getting shafted on the whole benefits of the digital thing because we're not getting the sales either because, again, it's a closed system.
Yeah.
And a lot of things to kind of take this into another news story that we kind of touched on either last week or the week before with the whole Apple lawsuit with their whole deal of them owning the App Store.
Yeah.
I didn't touch on this, but that might really affect Sony and Microsoft as well because if you remember, they own the console and they also own the store, and you can't get on the store and you can't sideload things into the consoles legally. So, yeah, that might mean that you might have a different situation, which brings me into another story that I wanted to tell you about. Neo Geo 2.
I'm sorry, the what?
SNK is making a Neo Geo 2.
Like a pocket thing?
No.
It'd be like a...
No. Console. No, they're making a console. The weird thing about this, and the reason why I
know they're making a lot of money off the pachinko machines. But.
No, actually, it's a really weird, different type of situation that they're going with, and it's the reason why I bring it up now is because it's not going to be a closed system. They're going to have first-party games from SNK that you can only buy and play on this Neo Geo system, but you're also going to have general other games, like just other games that other developers can negotiate to put on their store.
Almost sounds like that Atari box too.
It does. It just sounds like SNK has a lot more IPs behind it that people actually give half of a shit about. Because unfortunately,
just Fatal Fury, like Fatal Fury alone will bring people in.
Fatal Fury alone, Metal Slug for me and you, we really like those games. If they can bring back some of the SNK quality from back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, they were the epitome of quality as far as, like, builds go. Because the original Neo Geo was not a home console so much as it was a home arcade system. And the price reflected that. So, I don't know. I mean, shit, the flash card for that thing's like $1 billion fucking dollars. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. They've announced that they're going to make a Neo Geo 2 and 3. So, they're already like, oh, yeah, no, we're going to make this console and then we're going to make another console. So, I'm starting to think that maybe they're going to like test the waters for what they want to do with the second system and then go with a third one. Again, all of this tentative.
Yeah.
Because this is all just rumor mill shit at this point. Not even rumor mill. They've announced it, but I'm not going to believe shit like that until it comes out like the Atari box. Because the Atari box still the Atari box still hasn't come out, has it?
Yeah. No.
And if it did, I won't fucking remember it. So I'll believe that whenever I see it, and I'll see what they do with it.
Like they show like a prototype design. I don't think they've even settled on design for that Atari box.
Yeah, because it's just. I think that they drastically overestimated what their market was for that. Because
it's like I'm sorry, anybody who really cares about Atari is just too old to buy this.
Right.
At this point.
Yeah, they just don't care. Also,
those are people who are getting to like their like 40s.
Yeah,
like they're
40s,
like
late
50s.
40s. Yeah,
like
late 40s, early 50s, if not 60s at this point, depending on whenever they got into it. I mean, the whole thing as well is just it goes back to the whole streaming argument with Netflix and stuff like that. It's just like I don't want to have to buy another console or another streaming service in order to watch one show. And
we keep going. You bring up Netflix. I should bring up another news story.
Oh yeah, no, I was actually done. Go ahead.
Oh, apparently Netflix is going to be at E3. I forgot about that. Netflix is going to be at E3 because apparently Netflix is not like.
They've been testing the waters a little bit. They still have they bought the rights to Minecraft story mode.
Yeah, but not just doing like just story like stuff like that, like the choose your own. Like possibly developing, like getting into publishing like actual video games. I didn't realize. I forgot. I think they announced it a while back. This is that Stranger Things like beat 'em up or like adventure game.
That one looks really interesting. Yeah. So like it looks like they're going with a different approach where they're going to be like doing the same Netflix mentality of like, well, we're going to do it our way and we're going to do it the right way. And people are going to emulate it, I guess. But whatever. But my whole thing is that I don't. What's the delivery method? Like, how do you do that?
I don't know.
That's my biggest question.
I would assume through Netflix.
So if you
just go on like what?
So how do I use
new streaming gaming too?
So what controller am I using? Is Netflix going to make a controller?
Well, the way that essentially the shadow thing I use, it just does it just reads it all through your IP. It does the controller through the internet.
But what controller were you using?
My PS4 controller.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Are they going to assume that you just have
being spoofed as an Xbox controller?
Oh, but
and it still read that. I'm
not saying that it's well within the realm of reason. It's just that's the question. Are they going to partner up with having an official because it's always janky whenever a big company has to go.
What they did because even Google's announced that you can use whatever controller you have too.
That's
with
true.
Their Stadia thing.
They have already done.
They have that official controller they come out with. They
what was the gimmick with their controller?
That it connects to your Wi-Fi to lower latency.
That doesn't make any sense. That sounds
no,
like
it
bullshit.
does. It makes sense in the fact that essentially since you're connected to the Wi-Fi, it's I guess there's no buffer between the sending your input through the internet to their servers because that controller is connected directly to the internet that you are using. Guess. So there shouldn't be any latency in sending the input.
See, it's just
that's the theory.
That is the theory, but I mean, the main problem is that nobody believes that this is actually possible. Everybody's just I'll believe it whenever I see it. Everybody wants it to be true.
Yes,
it's just that people have been burnt so many times by these big promises. And I mean, this is right off the cuff of another really big bad promise to bad fuck up on Samsung's part with the whole Galaxy Fold.
Yeah.
And I know that they're only tangentially related in the sense of their tech, but I mean that kind of puts a damper on the whole.
This was the first time even just Google themselves have promised big and then just never delivered on the product.
Right. And I mean Google itself. Okay, yeah, going into that, 2 years time, this might not even be a thing. That's the funniest part. Is that Google, even if it's going they'll just kill shit. They're the Fox of fucking.
Because they have the money to do it.
Yeah, because they have money to just fuck around and then they're just fuck it. And if it doesn't go in their way, they just go, I don't care, I'm out. Fuck it.
Yeah, they have literal infinite money that they can just throw away on $1 billion projects like that because they just don't care because they don't have to.
But at the same time, Netflix has been experimenting with different things. That Cumberbatch. What is it?
Cumbersnatch.
Ugh, yeah. Sounds gross. Yeah, but that's a weird. I don't even know what you would call that. Choose your own adventure.
Yeah, it's I guess interactive movie television experience,
which has always been weird because they've always had. I don't know if you remember this back in the day, but they always had. Did you watch DVDs on a PS2 at all in your youth?
Yes.
Did you ever notice that there was a feature called different angles on the menu?
Yes, on some, yeah.
Yeah, on some of them, and it was very few. Because it's, again, the same problem that you have with game development.
It was a very limited gimmick.
It was a limited gimmick for a limited thing, and I assumed that it was just a thing for Japan or something like that, or one of the other tech markets where it's just a closed-off thing where they just tested it. It always struck me as weird because it's the same kind of argument with game development in the sense of why would you spend resources on something that people probably aren't going to say? And it's the same reason why we don't have, quote-unquote, more fun things in video games now. It's oh, we're not going to let you allocate time, resources, and whatever to this cool thing that you want to do unless it's going to be in the main, are people going to see it? No.
We don't have time for that.
No, we don't have time for that. I need you to tighten up the graphics on level 3. I don't need you fucking making a museum showing off the production schedule of what we did here. Fuck that.
Yeah, we don't have time for that.
We don't have time for that.
We'll record a video or something.
We don't even do that anymore. It's retarded. So yeah, it's just little fun things like that have gone by the wayside just because of crunch, because of
AAA don't work now. It's just there literally just there's no time for that.
There's just no time for it. Yeah, but what else? What else with that?
That's about that one.
Okay.
But I guess kind of leading into the streaming thing. Still leaning into the streaming thing. Dude, anti-piracy stuff was just getting its shit wrecked. I just saw a news story. It's de novo, for Rage 2, the de novo, anti-piracy got cracked with hours.
Because they figured it out now.
Yeah.
People have cracked de novo from the source level.
Yeah, exactly.
Essentially at this point, de novo itself is cracked.
I think it says the second game just this year that's had a 0-day crack, and other games have been cracked just within a day.
Hours, yeah. See, and here's my problem with that again is that don't blame the pirates. It's a symptom of a different problem.
Yeah.
The problem is that you're not giving a service that you're always going to have pirates. First of all, I'm going to preface this with us.
That's always
You can
like,
mitigate
we gotta
it.
stop these people from pirating. It's like anybody who's pirating your game is somebody that wasn't going to buy it anyway.
Right.
You weren't going to get their money anyway. In fact, sometimes that pirate can be like, "Oh, I like this game so much that I actually am going to go buy it now."
Right. My other thing is just you can mitigate the amount of piracy by just making things more convenient.
Yeah.
Like Spotify, for example. Spotify mitigated a lot of the whole problems because we had a really big problem dealing with the death of physical media. Apple kind of locked everything down. Like the timeline here is really weird whenever you look at just music as like an example for this.
Yeah.
You know, you remember the late 90s, early 2000s, it was all about Kazaa. It was all about fucking LimeWire, FrostWire, the RIAA fucking cracking down, suing people for millions of dollars over a fucking Michael Jackson song and shit like that. It made no sense. That was broken. Apple comes up with a product called the iPod. Everybody goes fucking batshit.
Yeah, he's like, oh,
everybody's like,
my music in one spot. And
yeah, but they also did their Apple thing where they made it a closed-off system.
Yes,
and you can't.
Well,
you can't move MP3s on there.
Yeah, you want to switch products now? Sorry, all your stuff is locked in the iTunes.
Right.
The iTunes library.
So whenever people did eventually...
If you want to listen to all of the music you have purchased
through
iTunes, you have to remain with iTunes.
Right. And that wasn't until, like 2011 or something, whenever they finally let you copy off like songs from iTunes just to MP.
Even then, that was still a hassle.
Yeah.
They
made it as hard as possible.
Make it easy to do that.
No. But my other thing is just... It's just a matter of convenience.
Yeah,
and it's a matter
that's
of
why
just
we have the streaming
having a
thing
better
where
product.
I almost wonder if more companies in the future are going to start leaning more into the streaming thing because it's like, well, you literally can't pirate it.
Right. Well, I mean, at the same time though, so I get that idea. I'm going to bring up a couple of examples.
I guess like the source files still end up online somehow.
Yeah.
But
somebody will always find a way to do it. But my other thing is that this isn't the first time we've had this discussion, Chris. This isn't the first time we had this discussion. Diablo 3, whenever it launched. SimCity, whenever it launched, they were always online. They were streaming games. It was a single player game in SimCity. Well, they had a couple of multiplayer options, but
yeah,
definitively, even if you were playing it single player and trying to play it offline, it would not let you do it.
Yeah,
you had to check in with them to make sure.
I think it did a check like every hour or something like that.
I don't even know how that shit worked. It made no sense. It was just completely arbitrary, and it was completely for the benefit of just fuck you. You're not pirating it.
Yeah.
It was adding on, and see, that's the worst case scenario. It's adding on another inconvenience, punishing people who paid for your game because you think some people were going to steal it.
It's the classic of like, oh, there's one kid over, like the kid in class is being a shithead. It's like,
it's punishing the good for the bad.
Yeah, hey, if you don't stop, I'm going to give the whole class punish work. Then of course, that kid's not going to stop being a shithead because he's a shithead. Then the whole
in fact,
class
you're telling him to be more of a shithead.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we're not mad at him because we know he's a shithead.
Yeah.
You could have just punished him. We're mad at you.
Right.
Like that's a situation where you get mad at the I guess the authority figure or whatever.
Right.
The situation is like
because it makes no sense.
No, that person's a shithead. We know he sucks.
Yeah, it just
you
makes
could have chosen to just punish him.
Makes no fucking sense. And then with stuff like the Steam store or the Epic store, there isn't even a reason.
No.
It's just pure fucking. I'm sorry, like I hate to just bring it to like fuck corporations, man, but it's like I'm sorry, man. Unless you have a different reason as to why you're pulling those scummy shit, I'm just seeing it for what it is, which is just money grab.
Yeah.
There's no other reason why you bought Rocket League Studios. What was it? Pentatonics?
Something like that.
Philharmonics. something like that. I don't know, but they just bought the studio. Just fuck you. Just bought the studio.
Yeah.
So now they have an esports game, and I'm just like, I don't want to do that. And also,
but you still play it on Steam. Like they've made it better. You can still play it on Steam. I think you can still buy it on Steam for another couple of weeks or so.
Why? It's stupid. It's stupid. It's unnecessary.
It's not gonna because it's so cross played out that game now.
Right.
It doesn't really matter.
A really bad decision on Epic's part because I mean that they spread that game. They literally did everything they could to make that game run on any system.
Yeah.
Including Linux. It had Linux support for God's sakes. So I just don't get it. It's really stupid. What's next up on the news here?
I say there's actually a decent amount of news this week.
Yeah.
I put that on. I still find real quick. Disney's laid off a bunch of people because there's now just too many people because of the Disney and Fox studios.
No, that's what happens whenever you merge two really big businesses.
There's now just far too many people.
No, there were two separate businesses, right? Do you need two accountants for each department?
Exactly.
No. Do you need two of whatever? Like it's a Thanos snap. Disney just Thanos snapped Fox, and whoever they don't like on Fox, I guess they're just not going to take them on. Which, I mean, I don't really have like all the sympathy in the world for the people involved. I mean, like, they're going to be fine.
Oh yeah, we also got Disney's just buying Hulu too.
They already did. They have controlling stock in Hulu.
They have controlling stock in Hulu now.
Which is stupid because we who didn't I thought Disney already owned Hulu.
They own 2/3 of it.
And now they own
Comcast owned the other third.
And now they just own
Comcast share. Yeah.
Why? It's just and
see that has to own.
They don't even want to own it. They want to own it so they can shut it down whenever fucking Disney Plus comes out. If not, just kill it and then like use its corpse to like shove Disney Plus into in order to use its services to launch Disney Plus.
I mean, that's fine. There's like, hey, just pay us an extra $2. You just get Disney Plus on top of your Hulu payment. I'd actually be kind of down with that.
You know, Disney isn't going to do that. They're going to be like, all right,
I mean, that's what HBO and like some of the other like they say like that. Just like, hey, just give us a little more money.
We're talking about the company Disney who locks away their movies in the vault to give it arbitrary scarcity for years at a time.
Yeah, that's true.
In order to make people rebuy movies, and they relaunched on every single format without updating it, just because they know you're going to buy it again.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay. So, well, Matt, did you hear that? Apparently, George R.R. Martin might be working with From Software to develop a Game of Thrones game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that seems like a pairing made in heaven.
I don't even know.
Afraid to just murder everyone, every important character, teaming up with the creators.
Like I think like Miyazaki was just like, I like your style, man.
He's like,
I just like it.
And then like George R. Martin was like, I like your moves.
I think Miyazaki also likes George R. Martin for the fact that like they both really don't like writing cohesive stories. Yes. Boom, snap. They don't like finishing their books.
Yeah, I didn't end up finishing Game of Thrones.
Yeah, people are upset about it, man.
What?
Oh,
people was yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you. Yeah, you haven't.
Well, I was watching it last night, and then you wanted to play Risk Race. I was like, okay, I'm gonna play Risk Race.
Oh, okay. So you could have just told me to fuck off, and you could have finished. All right.
I want to play Risk Race.
All right, cool. I mean, you got the artifice, right?
I did.
So yeah, I saw a really funny statistic, and it's about what you expect. By the way, while we're talking on Game of Thrones, real quick here, I saw one where it shows a timeline of you can actually search a query on Google to see how many people search it.
So actually, I just read there was actually a correction in the article. It's not confirmed that it's a Game of Thrones game. Just that George R. R. Martin and From Software are still possibly
That's even better.
Collaborating on a game of some kind.
So some guy showed where it shows the query was cancel HBO subscription, and like 15 minutes after the Game of Thrones finale, it just fucking skyrocketed.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, what did they think was going to happen? I mean, and it's just, we talked about that a little bit today with another gentleman that we work with where, and I didn't realize this, but it's like, what, 15 million an episode?
Yeah.
Like, up until I heard that statistic, like, until I heard that number,
oh, yeah, that's ridiculous.
I was like, yeah, it's pretty dumb that they wouldn't want to stretch this out as long as possible. And then I was like, oh, no, 15 million? No.
Well, especially, too, just the CG on the dragons alone is, like, ridiculous.
Because, like, then suddenly you're talking about, like...
It's, like, borderline...
How many episodes was in this last season? 6?
Yeah.
$15 million a pop, dude.
Yeah.
No, if they did, like, a full season, that'd bankrupt the whole company. Be out. HBO would just be done. You get a full season of Game of Thrones, you'd be done.
Yeah.
And then people would still bitch about it. They'd be like, well, that's not how I would have done it. It's like, bitch, you have $15 million? No.
You want to bankroll this shit?
For real.
You bankroll this shit.
You ain't crowdfunding $15 fucking million.
An episode?
An episode. $15 million an episode, dude. That's not feasible. And that made me think of another thing.
Well, it's one of these albums like some people were just like, we'll just scale it back again, like because the originals they didn't have any money. Right. That's why like most of the battle scenes, like they cut like most of the battle scenes are like, we're getting ready for the big battle scene. Let's go. We're gonna go.
It's the same problem with movies,
fight
man.
The other house. And then we'll just cut it in the battle.
Yeah,
because they didn't have any money to hire. They didn't have money to hire those extras or animate anything.
Dude, it's the same thing that's happening with movies. You literally can't make a AAA movie without spending like $1 billion.
Yeah.
And then you have to hope that it makes $1 billion buttload back in order for you to break even and then, God forbid, make a profit. And if you're not part of the big three, you're not making a profit.
No.
So it's weird. And to see that coming over to and And I know that HBO is a little bit different. It's more of like premium TV.
Yeah.
But to see that coming in even any close to television at this point in the game,
yeah,
that's weird. That's really weird, and I don't know why they're doing it. Like, I get that you want to have the spectacle and everything like that, but like, you already had your audience. Like, these are people that watched this for like 8 years. You could have scaled it back, like you were saying.
Yeah, like, well, people who
like
watched
maybe
it,
7 million an episode.
People who like watched it from the very beginning, who were just like, man, these two motherfuckers talking to each other, best thing ever.
Best thing ever. And
because that was where like a lot of the best parts of Game of Thrones were literally you just had two characters sitting in a room.
It was about the dramatic
about
dialogue half the time. It wasn't really about it. Like, it was fucked up whenever somebody died.
Yeah,
but it wasn't about the. It wasn't about the fighting.
Was like every now and then they would maybe throw in like a little action scene here.
Sure,
and there.
Spice it up.
It's like, oh, cool,
nice,
oh, cool.
But that was like a little extra thing, like added on. It was a drama first and foremost, right? Like, I'm gonna ask you this because I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But.
Alston's afraid of the nudity.
I don't like the dicks. Yeah, it's really bizarre to me to see $15 million. Yeah. I can't get over that number. That's a boatload of cash you're just burning on something that everybody got upset about.
Yeah,
just upsetting. And now I don't even know what they're like. They have what are they gonna do? Three spinoffs now.
There's one confirmed that's going to be about. Shit, I remember what's going to be. There's going to be a prequel. I know that much. I don't remember what era.
So here's my problem with that.
There's two different eras that could actually take place in if it's a prequel.
Here's my problem with that, and this is a completely like I don't have any concept or even a full grasp of what's going on with the situation of how the fans are feeling right now.
Oh, they're very upset.
I know that they're very upset, but just hear me out on this. Every single time there's a really big cultural phenomenon, everyone is watching this show.
Yes.
Inevitably, they try and do at least
even
one spin-off.
like to use the term, but even like just normies.
No, like really,
like completely just average.
Big
person.
Bang Theory has young Sheldon. Yeah. Friends, they tried to do Joey Tribbiani by himself. Just tried to do a spinoff with just Joey. Each one of those didn't perform very well. / maybe didn't even be made. I'm asking, like...
I don't know. Apparently Young Sheldon still keeps getting new seasons for some reason. Probably because they don't want
It's eternal because of the boomers. But my thing is that, as an example, to use Friends, there's points where that was the shit. That was the biggest television show back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Bar none. And I feel like...
Not only, like... I think it was rivaled by Seinfeld.
Yeah. But and again...
That was it. It was, like, rivaled by Seinfeld.
And Seinfeld, thankfully, was, like, a show where, like, whenever that ended, like, there's no way to do like a spinoff of that, like because everything was about nothing anyway. So like, what the fuck are you even a spinoff of it? So
that was a show that was just so like, well, that's why Friends didn't work either. That was a show that was like just so like ingrained with the ensemble,
right?
That they
like they leaned into what they were doing really hard, and that's why it worked.
Yeah,
but in doing so, they like kind of solidified themselves in what they were doing, and then the minute they're done with that, it's like it's a wipe your hand situation. It's like, all right, that's done. Which at this point, I have to ask the question, and this leads me into my bigger question is just like, is anybody ever going to actually be satisfied with any sort of conclusion to anything at that point?
I don't know.
And I know you don't know. It's a rhetorical question, but I mean, like, that's just my question. Is that like, was there ever any way to like? I think it was a game that was just rigged from the start. You know,
especially with Game of Thrones, possibly.
Because I mean,
especially too because because you know that after I think the 6 seasons, like the last 2 seasons,
it diverged from the books, right? Because they didn't have any more books.
Yeah, there's no more books. So yeah, they had to start writing their own shit.
Right.
With what they say.
He gave like a game plan or whatever. Yeah,
notes from George R. R. Martin.
And that's fine. It's just that
like a general like outline of what he kind of wanted to do with
Derek
the last
brought up
books.
A very good point where he compared it to another sitcom show that had a similarly somewhat tangentially related, and it helped me understand it with how he was explaining it to me with How I Met Your Mother. In the sense of kind of an opposite situation of How I Met Your Mother, though, because How I Met Your Mother was dragged out as Game of Thrones was sped up, I guess.
Yeah.
In the sense that How I Met Your Mother had a clear finish line that they were working towards, and they
should have gotten to by around season 5.
Right. Season 5 was how they paced it as well. That was the other problem was that every season, up until every episode, every season was paced for, hey, at season 5, we're pulling it. Like, that's it. We're pulling the trigger. It's done. We'll see what's going on after that, but like that's where our big ending is.
Yeah.
well, it's doing too well. We need 2 more seasons. Then we need another season.
Yeah, that's the main problem. Is they kept redoing, they kept greenlighting it for like
whenever the writers were like,
we
don't have any more content, man. Like that's it. Like I'm sorry, like that's it. That's all we had. And it's just like, oh, and then if you recall, the last season of How I Met Your Mother literally takes place in like 1 day.
Yeah,
because they had to slow time down to a crawl. Because that was it. Because again, the day was that wedding.
Yeah.
The end day was the wedding, so like they couldn't go past the wedding.
Yeah, they literally.
So the only solution is to make the wedding last an entire season.
Utterly written themselves into a corner. It's like, well, we can't go. Like this is the day he meets her. Like,
yeah, this is how he met his mother.
We can literally not go past this day, but we need a fucking season.
Yeah. So whereas like Game of Thrones sped it up, and it was just like, and again, I don't know Jack.
Oh no! Apparently, people like the last season, this season, people just don't. It literally is fast travel.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like before it was like people be on the road. There was like entire like there were like some people.
They would at least give you like a scene where like people like cop along.
For like a quarter of the season were on the road.
Oh
They're traveling in between places because it fucking took forever to get places.
Hey, you know what doesn't cost $15 million an episode? People traveling on the side of the road.
Exactly. You know, it costs even less them just teleporting places. No, because it happened last night. It was a small one, but there was like a character up on like the ramparts of like a castle.
Yeah,
like looking down into like the field at a person who was training, and then like it just cuts. He's down there. I was like, what the fuck? Like I like literally was like, what the fuck? How do you get down there so fast?
Well, that's just bad cinematography. Then at that point, like I mean, like you have to at least like give people like you can. Like,
you didn't even walk off the ramparts.
You have to
like,
show
take
somebody
a
like
second of him. Not. It was just like he looked down. I was like, I want to go down and talk to that person, and then just like.
That's just like continuity and like a mixture of like actually showing a shot to where it makes sense.
Well, you heard, like, there's the coffee cup thing. You know,
there's a bottle of water too.
The final episode was a fucking bottle of water.
Yeah, there is.
It was like, what the fuck is happening?
It's just, Some people have. I saw that, and I've.
I was like, did you not include editing in this $15 million?
I don't know, man. So here's my thing. Here's my question. How many other beverages were just on set that they already edited out? Those are the 2 that we found.
Yeah, they're just.
I have 2 questions.
Like, do y'all have to have this shit just everywhere on the set?
That's my thing. Is that like did they just have a lot of people who were too big for the britches and just like
I'm getting very. I mean, I got water here. It's like just sitting there talking all day.
Right.
It makes thirsty. Your mouth dries out. And you need something.
I'm not saying they can't have a cup of Starbucks. It's just like, dude, just
put that shit. Like, just throw it out of frame.
Yeah. Either throw it out of frame or like
recording starts just.
If you have a $15 million budget, I guarantee you there's some bitch boy fucking PA who you can give it to.
So the only reason I can see this being a thing, a lot of them are in period piece costumes that take a lot of effort and time to get into and out of, and sometimes some of those things are just like, well, this is like just fitted so tightly.
It's bespoke.
That if you move the wrong way,
it's going to tear everything.
It's going to just destroy itself.
Yeah. No, that's the thing with costuming is that none of it's functional.
Yeah, so for this scene, you do need to you can't move. You have to sit here. Yeah. Because if you move in that costume, it's just going to fall apart.
Right. I completely understand that. It's just.
So I get that too, but still, even then, it's like.
It's just silly.
You don't have any like.
It just makes them look so incompetent. Yeah. Like, it's just one of those things where it's just like, man, you look bad. And then again, to bring it up, $15 million. And then there's a Starbucks cup.
Just right there.
I'd be pissed if I fucking bankrolled that and it's like, dude, you can get rid of a fucking Starbucks cup.
Like, what the fuck? All right, so final piece of news. There's a quick thing about Dota. Apparently, Dota Overlords got trademarked by Valve. So I guess the whole thing about Valve's making games again is
so true, it's a fighting game.
There's really no information. They just trademarked the name.
Chris, look, man. You know this is an expansion for their card game. I'm gonna call it right now.
That card game is failing super hard though.
They're gonna keep on forcing it. They're gonna force it until it becomes a thing.
Okay, well, much more important. Man, loot boxes could just be on the way out.
Loot boxes are definitely looking like it's gotten to the point where Nintendo actually. I read an article about this morning. Nintendo is actually probably gonna pull just entirely Pokemon Go and Animal Crossing from Belgium. Because it's just straight up illegal.
Oh no, yeah. Some of the shit are just like they've already passed all the shit. Just like, or it's like, well, we just can't sell this game here.
The Belgian situation is incredibly funny because it shows how petty the corporations are being in these instances. Because Legends of Dragalia, which is Nintendo's original IP for the phone, is a gacha game. It has action combat, and it's pretty fun. But it does have loot boxes. Now, it's just downright just passive-aggressive with how it words it. Because it comes up with a notification if you live in one of these countries.
Yeah.
Where it basically says, hey, due to your country's legislations, we can't give you parts of this game. They've taken parts of this game out. That's how they phrase it. They've removed parts of this game from us. You can still buy items with the in-game currency, but due to your legislation, you cannot actually buy random drops. So sorry about that. And it's still like there's no like how those games work. There's still like stuff that you can only buy with actual.
You don't only get out of the goddamn loot boxes.
Yeah. So they're just like, oh yeah, you just can't get those. And it's just like, what? Then why'd you release the game? Like just pull the game. And it looks like that's what they're going to be doing with the next couple of games.
The bill here specifically, because that's just like a lot of those countries is like just anti-gambling legislation just all around.
Yeah,
it gets rolled up into that. That's why it's so strict in some of those European countries. Here, it's going to be more focused on minors.
It's not gambling. It's not gambling. It is gambling, but it isn't gambling.
Technically, is gambling.
No. Let me preface.
You're putting in money for a random chance to get something back that is not as valuable as the money you put into it.
Right, but it's always going to be less money. That's guaranteed.
Not necessarily, because some of those things, a lot of them, like, well, it depends on the game. Sometimes you get some of those loot boxes that's like, man, I really.
What if I just made this like
I really wanted to.
What if I made this
like
just
a
like
bind on equip? This like it doesn't bind on account.
I'm not talking legally. I'm talking like normal, colloquial, like normie level of understanding here. Like if I told you that I had to spend $100 rolling a dice to see if I can get a digital only item that's only available in this game, and at some point this game is going to inevitably be taken down, and this item will no longer be accessed.
Or hell, it could just be at a random point where it's like, oh, this item is only available for this set amount of time.
Yeah. Just shit like that. And it's just like, that's not.
And it's still only a random.
So whenever you tell me that that's gambling, whenever I can go down to a casino and like make $100 on $50, I agree that it's as shitty as gambling. It's actually shittier.
It's worse than
I'm saying it's worse than gambling. Yeah. No, you misunderstood me. I meant that it's worse than gambling.
Yeah.
By far. Because it's just a shitty, it's shit. It's just bad. I don't like it. I hate it.
Yeah. Like, it just goes by, like, you just go, like, I was saying for watching the longest time, it's like, man, I don't even care if I have to spend more money. I just want to get the goddamn skin that I want.
And see, that's what me and you said for the longest time, and it took both of us.
It was like, just do both. You can do both.
No, it's never.
Like, give people the option to buy and acquire the actual thing they want. I don't care if it costs more money. Have the loot boxes just be cheaper.
And it took us realizing that we had no idea how much money they're making off of whales.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's insurmountable. It's unbelievable, the money that people are dumping into these games.
I've got infinite money, so I'm just going to keep putting money into this till I get what I want.
I was just like...
Because the person is just like, money is just nothing to me.
And it's bad game design. It's pay to win bullshit.
But the main victims of that are the people who are just like, who just have a problem, man. Who just have a problem like, I want shiny thing.
Right.
I feel the need to get shiny thing.
Oh, it definitely hits the same pathways in the brain as gambling.
Yeah.
100%.
Trade.
100%. He's a person who has a problem with that.
No, like remember he's playing Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
That's one of the first games that ever had like the random drop boxes.
One
That actually had like actual
before they were even called loot
content.
boxes.
Before they were called, they're just random boxes. One day he's like, I didn't even like he came back in like one day is like Chris, I spent like $80 on those boxes. Like it was like I didn't realize I did it. Like he like looked later, was like, oh, how did I do that?
Real easy, because they just let you keep on buying them.
I mean, I've gone for it too with Overwatch.
Everybody.
I don't kind of play Overwatch anymore. It's like, especially with the events going on, I was like, man, I want
it's an underhanded tactic though, because you
skin
for
this character.
And here's my problem with that. Right there, Overwatch is a great example because we both have
grinding to get it.
We both have firsthand experiences with this. Let me ask you this: it was harder to walk away from Overwatch because you put money into it.
Yeah. Even
though we already had to buy the game outright, we bought it at like $40 to buy the base edition.
Yeah.
And then we both put in money to get the thing because they never give you what you want.
No.
It's designed to give you legendary skins at like a really crap rate. Yeah. You get, and the longer it's going on,
like it's still not good. Like man, at least Apex gives you like odds.
Yeah.
I think even Overwatch now has to. I think specifically in China, I think Overwatch has to give odds.
I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great stopgap measure to, because that whole thing what you were just talking about with Trey, I don't think Trey would have done it if he would have seen the odds of him like actually getting what he wanted. Again, it's just stupid. Me and you can talk all day about how you could just have a shop, and if you just want to charge me $5 for this item,
fuck it,
I'll probably buy it. There's probably going to be one $5.
The Legends did.
Yeah.
There's something I was like, well, look, like a lot of things I don't like, but even like Legends has like a system now where it's like there's loot boxes. But it's like the thing I suggested for Overwatch was like I think it's a cheaper thing. I think you can do it in game currency.
And that's where I draw the line is whenever it's just that whole.
Like you can still grind to get loot boxes that have a chance to have like skins and stuff in them, or you could just go buy the skin you want if you really just want to buy it.
Because at that point, it's an argument of, oh, well, it's just saving you time because you can still unlock this with the in-game currency. Other things, though, whenever it's items that you can only buy with real-world money in these loot boxes that you're still not guaranteed to get what you want, that's just worse than gambling.
Is like, especially too, is like, oh, well, you can get loot boxes with in-game currency, or you could buy specific things with in-game currency. The in-game currency only comes with loot boxes, though.
What game is like that?
Overwatch, dude. The Overwatch coins. Yeah, that's the only way to buy specific things. Is
you
to
can't
get enough
credits,
of the currency. Yeah. Get enough of
that's
the gold.
That's a fucking joke.
But you can only get the gold through loot boxes.
Well, you get them by leveling up, man.
No, you don't. You only get that.
But you get a loot box every single time you level up.
Yeah,
though.
But there's not a chance to get gold in every one of those loot boxes.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's sometimes where you get them you just have a chance to get nothing, essentially.
Well, enough people bitched at him to where they were like, hey, if I get a duplicate,
they joke in our group of like, oh, what'd I get? Oh, 3 grays and a blue.
Yeah, that was our pro team, 3 grays and a blue. No, like that was the joke though, was you got there was enough people bitching at Blizzard to where they had to add to where, hey, if I keep on getting duplicates in season fucking 1, can you at least give me credits for them? Instead of just showing me a picture of them and letting me know that I already have them and basically letting me know you just fucked me because this is just a wasted slot.
I can't regret like people complaining so much about getting so many duplicates. It's like that was a way to get more currency. And like so I think honestly Blizzard was like, okay, we're reducing the number of duplicates you get. You're gonna get less currency though, so you gotta buy more loot boxes now.
So yeah, like whenever you really think about it, it's like, why doesn't every loot box just give you a base amount of currency? Because that would make sense. Because that would make sense. And then
then you could put in money to get a certain amount of currency and then go buy this.
Right. Exactly. That is exactly what I mean. That's exactly what I mean by that. It's stupid. It's anti-consumer. It's stupid. It's bullshit. And again, it's for fucking digital items that have no real world value. Yeah. Nobody cares that you bought a fucking May skin.
But I want the shiny thing. Well, because nobody likes May.
Because you're too thick. I don't know. You got any other news? Any other things to get upset about? I feel like we've been very upset. That's
pretty much it.
Fuck video games.
Apparently, I don't know my Steam wishlist is on sale.
Nice. That's good. What game is it?
I don't know.
Let's take a look.
Live on the podcast, Chris looking at his wish list.
Yeah, let's just go down.
It's probably something I really don't care that much about buying right now. Oh, it's Shovel Knight. Ooh, for 50% off.
Ooh. On this episode of Chris Buys Shovel Knight.
I actually might go buy Shovel Knight.
Yeah. I don't know. So,
yeah. We don't have any emails.
All right, no more news.
We don't have any emails.
Oh, we don't have any emails?
No, so I'm just
I'm disappointed in everyone who watches the show.
So we talked about it yesterday, but like we touched on it a bit yesterday.
Sure.
Well, we're just stuffing our faces full of delicious Japanese food. It's so good. Essentially, the question I want to ask this week on the podcast.
Yes.
Is going to the end of Game of Thrones. What do you prefer, Austin? Do you prefer something to have a really bad, shitty, disappointing end, but it ended?
Yeah.
It had a definitively end, yeah, and it ended.
And it got an official ending. It got an official ending, and it came in a timely manner.
But it's disappointing. Or do you prefer the thing to just peter out into nothing? And just never get an ending, never get a resolution to anything that was raised, any questions that were raised, any plot, just
nothing got tied
open,
up. There's just things open
plot holes.
I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to have to start a long tradition here of asking you to quantify the question.
All right.
For the version where it doesn't end, is there still hope?
No.
No.
It is dead.
So from the...
It is Fireflied.
It is Fireflied. Okay. Because that was what I was thinking as well. I needed you to qualify that.
Well, no, I guess that did happen because they at least kind of finished it off with Serenity the movie.
Sure. Nobody was satisfied with that, though.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. It got Batman Beyond.
Oh, that one's the worst.
Yeah, that one was really bad.
Oh, what would you rather, Game of Thrones or Batman Beyond?
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
See, because whenever I was thinking about Firefly, I was like...
Or Lost, even, like, for like just really just like, man, it ended, but fuck.
Just fuck you. Just fuck you ending. I don't know, man. Can I get a wild card in there? Can I have a Gynax ending?
Sure.
Can it be an ending that's definitive? Can it be an ending that's definitive, but it's just out of fucking left field and it's just not good?
Yeah. Like just that, I would call that almost in the middle.
Yeah, the Gynax ending is in the middle. I don't know, man.
I was like, man, that ended, but did it?
Did it really?
Is it over?
They set it up for. Were they setting up for a sequel? Am I getting a sequel? No, they're telling me no. I'm not getting a sequel. But then why did they do that? Why would they do that, Chris?
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Why would they do that? Fucking Japanese people. So man, that's after getting you to quantify that. That's a tough question because I was leaning toward whenever I was thinking about it, like Firefly. I was like, there's still gonna be hope, maybe maybe a fan project, something like that down the road, something like that. I don't know.
Was there actually a Kickstarter to restart Firefly?
I'm sure.
I think there was at some point.
So here's what I'm gonna go with. I think I figured it out. I would rather it have a bad ending and have it to where enough people. No, I don't know. Because see, another thing that I want to bring up. Let's talk about bad endings for a minute. Let's
talk about bad. Yeah.
Let's shoot back and forth about this question because this is a deep question, and I want to talk about examples about this.
Let's go for it.
I'm going to give my example. In recent memory, the thing with the worst ending that ended so badly that it retroactively ruined the rest of it. That would be Legend of Korra. Legend of Korra's ending, like the last ending.
100% also, that's why people were so. This is essentially. So imagine Legend. How many seasons did Legend of Korra?
3. It had 3.
Yeah, imagine that was spread out instead of that.
It was over 8. It was
spread over 8 seasons.
And 8 years.
And each one of those seasons included hour-long episodes.
That's pretty bad.
And then the ending happens, and it ruins the whole thing retroactively.
Dude, The Sopranos had like a bad ending.
There was, at some point, years in between seasons.
Jesus Christ. Good God. What's
thing between seasons 6 and 7? There was literally a year.
What's another thing that you've recent memory? Like, what's the recent memory? What was the thing with the worst ending besides Game of Thrones?
Worst ending besides Game of Thrones? I wasn't really happy about how the Phantom Pain just ends the Metal Gear series.
Yeah. I mean, that
wasn't all the creative fault, but
that
still,
one's
that was
even
just
worse.
Such a disappointing ending.
No, that one was even worse because that one had other reasons as to why. It wasn't even the creator's fault.
That's what I bring up a lot of times too. Is why didn't you stop at 4? 4 was the perfect ending. Then you made all the other ones with Big Boss that just complicated things to shit.
Yeah.
And then you introduce this thing in the Phantom Pain where it's this is why there was the boss later again in the second Metal Gear after you killed this one because you killed the body double the first time. You killed Venom Snake the first time. It's but nobody cared about that.
Yeah, hey, I tied up this.
Why did you spend an entire game?
I tied up this loose plot point. And it's everyone was fine with that plot point. They moved on.
We just assumed he got better. From being burned.
He just figured it out. Yeah.
Or no, I think he doesn't even say. I think he actually says, "Hey, bro, just that was a body double." Because okay, that's all that needed to be explained.
That's it. That's all you need. I mean, with how fucking stupid Metal Gear is, you could just literally just be like, "Oh yeah, that was a body double." It's all right. So what's another thing in recent memory that didn't end then? In recent memory.
Oh god, Batman Beyond's always my top.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something that just didn't end because not a lot of things just don't end.
Back in the Xbox, the OG Xbox era, there was a game called Advent Rising.
Oh,
do you remember this?
Yeah, Tommy Tallarico, dude.
Yeah, man, the footstep noises.
Hell, fucking yeah, man. Best footstep noises. Yeah.
So there was also that deal that you could win $1 million if you did a thing in the game, and then somebody did that thing. They're like, "Oh yeah, the game didn't sell enough. We can't pay that." We can't pay you the $1 million.
Oh no.
Yeah, they couldn't pay out.
So
the
he had to
contest.
admit to a fan that won a contest that they can't do it because he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't sell no copies. And it was like, oh man, it's gonna be a big ass game. It's gonna be like 3 games.
Big ass game. Yeah, it was supposed to be a trilogy. Yeah,
big ass trilogy.
It was supposed
big
to be.
ass boys.
It was supposed to be fucking. Was that on the original Xbox?
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be the original Mass Effect.
I was like, this is great. I was like, this is pretty good.
Comfy. It's great.
I was like,
got a Mario reference in there.
Got some powers.
Had
and
a
shit.
Mario secret Easter egg with the pipes. That was weird.
That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
But I was like, oh, man, this is great. And then just nothing.
Nothing. Well, because it bombed.
Yeah, because it bombed hard.
Yeah. Shit.
Then there's just Outlaw Star. Outlaw Star is gonna be another one of my all time. It's like, oh man, we're gonna set up for a second season. It's gonna be all good. We're gonna go more space adventures out here with magic guns and stuff. And then just nah. just nope.
Yeah, nah, mate. Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
nah.
Get fucked, mate.
Yeah, nah, get fucked. So yeah, there was a lot of
There's
anime.
a lot of anime.
There was a lot of anime in the 90s that were like,
I mean, Big O for the longest time.
Big O only got a second season because Toonami
because
funded
Adult Swim.
Yeah, Adult Swim bankroll. Yeah, that's right, because it came on Adult Swim instead. Yeah. God, I forgot. That was after Toonami was like, I don't know if Toonami was still around at that point.
That was during the hiatus. That was before Toonami came back. That was in that period, the dark times when there was no Toonami.
Either that or was in that like that 4th generation of Toonami with like the weird robots. That was weird. Like whenever Naruto first came over. And it was the 4 kids dub of Naruto.
That was when I stopped getting out of it. That's when
I stopped watching. Well, see, and that's what killed Toonami was that they were like, oh, yeah, we're going to do the thing that we did back in the 90s. We're going to pay 4 kids to, localize these anime. It's like, you know that all these kids have already watched Naruto and One Piece, right?
He took a bite of gum.
Took a bite of gum. Yeah, yo. Yeah, so I'm trying to think of something that hasn't finished. I'm trying to think of something that in recent memory, because Legend of Korra definitely for me, I still have a sore spot about it.
It's bad.
It's just bad. It's just bad. Now I don't want to go back and watch any of it. I don't want to watch any of it. And now, you know what's on its way to doing the same thing?
What was that?
The Dragon Prince.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's bad. Ooh,
Oh, no.
Ooh.
I don't watch any of that.
What if every character was a Mary Sue?
Oh, no.
What if every character was a Mary Sue? What if we didn't explain anything and everyone was just, I'm better than you because fuck you, magic?
That sounds real not good.
What if I told you there was a human character that by nature of being a human character did not have access biologically as per the rules of this universe that they have established since the first fucking season that he cannot do magic. He cannot do magic unless he uses an item imbued with magic. Okay. Which is fine. So he's doing magic.
Magic trickster.
Yeah, he's magic trickster. He's using the
little wands all over the place.
He went into a fucking journey coma thing.
He came out and was like, I got better.
No, he literally just pulled a Keanu Reeves in The Matrix, and he just like woke up and he basically was like, "Oh, I can do light magic now." And he's like, "What?" And he's just like, "Yeah, I can just do it." And like, I know they're gonna like do a throwaway explanation at some point and be like, "Oh, it wasn't really all the way human or whatever." It was like,
all right. So
can I go on a rant here for a second?
Yeah, you're.
I'm sorry. You got me started with something that I'll instead of my recent thing that didn't end, I want to talk about a problem that I've noticed in this new age of animation and television shows, or just shows, not movies but shows, whatever you want to call them, because they're not on TV anymore, so you can't really call them TV shows. But here's my problem: syndication is no longer a thing, Chris. So what does that mean?
Yeah.
Shows are not made to be syndicated anymore. So what does that mean? It means that everything needs to have a cohesive story, and you're made to binge watch everything now. You have to watch every single episode. Yeah. You have to look at every little thing.
You can't miss anything.
And now everybody wants to add a little, in this first episode we did this. Now we're going to do a callback. And we actually set this up from the beginning, guys. We're not fucking stupid. There was a weird thing. You're fucking stupid. Yeah, no, it's just, I recently had spoiled for me a series that I had put on the back burner because I don't care about it, and I'm not a girl and I'm not gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But it was called Bee and Puppycat, and it's from one of the creators, Natasha Algary, or whatever her name is, Natalgary or whatever, from Adventure Time. She did, I believe, some of the background art or something like that. After Adventure Time ended, or towards the end of Adventure Time, Rebecca Sugar split off to go do Steven Universe. Yeah. And, some other people, Natasha, for example, went over to Frederator, Channel Frederator, and they bankrolled her show Bee and Puppycat. Uh-huh. And it was about her, she already had established characters, OCs that she had made, and she wanted to make a series about them. That was fine and everything. I'm going to spoil that now.
Okay.
And
go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna spoil that now, and I'm gonna.
I never actually got the spoilers for Detective Pikachu. We'll get
Yeah. We'll go back in the spoiler corner here. So as we jump all the fuck around on this fucking podcast, this is great.
Low energy podcast.
Yeah.
I'm half asleep.
I'm half asleep as well.
Should have got coffee.
Oh man, I could really go for coffee. We're getting coffee right after this.
Delicious coffee.
Anyway, so it's a girl, and it's all the whole motif is just like Sailor Moon. Remember Sailor Moon, guys? Remember Sailor Moon?
I remember Sailor Moon.
You don't have to make. What is with every single girl centric or just TV show centered towards even She-Ra, even the new She-Ra? It looks like fucking. It looked like they were inspired by fucking Sailor Moon. Why?
Yeah,
anyway,
Sailor Moon, man.
Regardless, and Sailor Moon's great. It is great, but my thing is that here's a spoiler because every single like Adventure Time always had like the big like twist things in them throughout each season.
Yeah,
that I got super hyped for. And Steven Universe did the same exact thing because everybody from that school of thought who worked with Pendleton Ward, they're like, "Oh man, you got to do a twist.
Yeah,
gotta jam a twist in there.
Gotta
be serious now." So the twist in Being Puppy Cat is that during like the finale or one of the like lead up to the finale episodes, she gets injured and her arm gets broken, and it turns out that she was a robot the entire time.
What?
She was a robot.
Okay.
B is a robot. And I watched one of those YouTube. I went down one of my YouTube holes, my patented YouTube holes, and this is the only reason why I saw this because I genuinely was not really interested in this series anymore. I just got really aggravated by seeing. I was like, because it was like a thing where it was like like the spoiler was in the title too, and that was really funny. Yeah, it was like it was one of those compilations where it proves that they planned the entire thing from the get go.
Yeah.
Where it was
like, here's
a compilation of all the signs.
Yeah, here's the signs that this character was blank.
Right. So they showed her like having like a static shock with something, having her turning something on by like, doing a cute little thing where she was like, "Oh, you'll be better," and then like she gave it a little kiss and everything like turned on, or whatever. And it was like that was her interfacing with it or whatever, and it was just like, dude, they just want to make that adventure robot, like. Oh, hey, speaking of robots and things that didn't end, My Life as a Teenage Robot. That never got an ending.
Yeah.
That was a really cool design show. Never got an ending.
Impossible really didn't either. Those shows weren't really designed to have.
It wasn't really designed well for plot or anything like that. That was more, and again, that was on the edge of the end of syndication, I guess. That and The Modifiers, which was a show that only got a pilot that people now only know about for the same reason.
Because thank you zone.
Yeah, because of the only other reason why people remember Teenage Robot as well is thank you zone son. Oh. Anyway, spoiled Detective Pikachu for me.
Okay, so the movie does those kids movie. Is that really obvious thing of like so you got kids looking for his dad.
Yeah.
You know who they never show his face of in any of the flashbacks?
His dad?
The dad.
Is his dad Pikachu?
His dad is Pikachu the entire time.
Okay, so
that's the reason he was voiced by Ryan Reynolds. His dad is Ryan Reynolds.
I wish my dad was Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
Yet I still get to keep my other dad because I love my other dad too. In fact, no, you know what?
Great.
You get to have Ryan Reynolds as your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That way you don't have to worry about it.
My aunt did actually meet him, so.
Oh. She should have fucked him.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is a nice man.
So your aunt met Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
You did tell me that.
Yeah. He was filming our hometown Hammond gets a lot of movies filmed there. Actually,
for some fucking reason.
That movie on Netflix about the killing of Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
That was
the Highwaymen.
Yeah, the Highwaymen. Part of that was filmed in our hometown Hammond.
Yeah. There is a scene where they are eating in a restaurant, and in the window you can see a Rexall pharmacy. We instantly knew that was our hometown because that building and that sign are so old.
Yes.
That was actually back whenever you just had to make signs for shit.
Yeah.
Like that, there is no other sign that looks like that. That was handcrafted.
Yeah, that was a handcrafted sign for that convenience.
In like the early 19th century.
Yes. So yeah, we recognize our hometown there because in fact I think they were filming that movie in particular when I was leaving.
Yeah,
like right before I left.
Because I remember because the actual building that they're in is a restaurant called Tacos and Beer.
Yes,
they paid them so much money that they were like, "We're going to shut your shit down. We're going to redo the inside of your store.
Yeah, completely renovate the inside.
Shoot in it for like 2 days and then re-put it back.
Yes.
It was like, damn.
All right, so all that to say that Ryan Reynolds was down there filming a movie.
Yeah.
My aunt works in the local Walgreens.
Did you just pop into the Walgreens?
He just popped into the Walgreens.
Nice.
And he was like, hey. Everybody was like, oh my God, it's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
I'd you recognize him from something. I don't remember.
I would straight up be snarky as fuck. I'd be like, hey man, what reference do you want me to shout at you? I know you're really tired of that.
Scream at you.
Yeah, I just want to just irreverently, like just incoherently just scream like any sort of reference. You want Deadpool or you want Pikachu? That's what's hot right now. Anyway, I actually knew that already because here's a spoiler alert. I was spoiled before you were spoiled before you even saw the movie. Oh. Because that's what's in the game as well. That's, in fact, if you played the game Detective Pikachu, it's actually the same thing.
Oh, okay.
So
that makes sense.
It does.
Was it Mewtwo shenanigans?
Oh, is that what happens?
It was Mewtwo shenanigans.
Mewtwo just changes out the. So wait, is Ryan Reynolds' body still around?
In this game, they essentially say, "Oh, Mewtwo could combine human souls with Pokemon souls if the Pokemon are in a state of agitation."
Okay. You know, that's not even that random of a fucking thing, because in the original game,
Mewtwo essentially has psychic magic, and so it's fun.
He's a fucking god. I mean, it doesn't matter. The other thing is that in the original game, whenever you go find Bill, who's the guy who makes the computer systems that you use to transfer Pokemon.
Yeah.
I mean, they touch on the fact that like there's a whole bunch of stupid ass science shenanigans going on. Like, you go in there and he's testing his teleportation devices and he's trying to teleport shit without having to put them in Pokeballs first.
Yeah.
And he accidentally, like, gets his mind transplanted into, like, a Kangaskhan or something, or, like, some other generic, like, Pokemon-looking thing.
And essentially, it's the main villain's plan is to essentially use Mewtwo to, because, you know, the main city they're living in is like, humans and Pokemon live side by side.
Who is the main villain?
It's actually the guy who played Davy Jones.
Okay. So he's just like, do you fear death?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Can I remember his name right now?
No. But what I mean is, in the universe, who is he?
I think he's a new character. I think he's.
Is he bald?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, hair. He runs some corporation. I don't remember the name of it.
Does he have a suit?
He does have a suit.
What color is the suit?
He's not Giovanni.
What if he like slowly turns into Giovanni?
He did not turn into Giovanni.
Okay.
That would have been.
What if like sequel?
I would have recognized Giovanni.
Like, see, that would have been the after credit scene. It's
essentially doing. I don't know. Is the person who does like a lot of genetic experiments on Pokemon? That's one of the things he was doing. He's doing a bunch of genetic experiments.
That's what Giovanni was doing, man.
Maybe he's supposed to be. He didn't say his name was Giovanni.
So look.
He apparently was like, he's like, oh, I was sick.
The only reason why I'm pushing for this is
like Pokemon tour, and Pokemon taught me that I just.
Does he have even Pokemon?
He has a Ditto.
Okay, is that it?
That's it. It's a Ditto that can take on human forms, though.
Okay, they already admitted.
They said that's one of the.
They already confirmed that happened in the last game. I'm just because
it's really creepy looking. Because at one point, does
it still have the Ditto face?
Yeah, it still has Ditto face. Because while I was doing it, has like sunglasses on to like hide its eyes. The glasses get knocked out.
Yeah. Those are my favorite plushies for like the merch for the thing.
The
Ditto versions of like things. I love how they because they retroactively like did that. They're just like somebody obviously like we were like, what if Ditto just couldn't do the face? And then they were like, that's adorable. I love it. Keep it. Yeah. So where were we going at? The question. Let's go back to the question.
Okay.
I'm gonna get that. We're gonna get there.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
No.
So the question is, would I rather something at Game of Thrones or get Batman Beyond?
Yes.
That's such a shitty question. Because, like, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I wouldn't go back and watch it then. I wouldn't go back and watch it if it had a bad
ending. You don't have to.
But at the same time, it's just like, do you want to go back and watch something knowing that there isn't an ending for it?
Sometimes, yeah. Because, like, we'll go back to How I Met Your Mother, because I hate how that ends so goddamn much.
Yeah.
There's been times where I was watching through it, then I got to around, like, season, 6 or 7, I just stopped. Because I was like, when I started seeing all the building up to the, like, really shitty ending that I hated.
There's the ending. I mean, there's the answer right there.
I was like, I would rather something have I was like, I literally had to stop watching.
I would rather
just get angry if I keep watching.
So there's my answer. You just answered you just answered the question. I would rather something have a terrible ending because then at that point you get to decide whenever it ends. Same thing with Scrubs with how that went. I only watch until like season 7, and then I'm like,
that last season was just a soft pilot for a new series.
They were
just
not even hiding it
entirely because that show completely relied upon JD.
Yeah, and then Zach Braff just
bit the
burnt
bullet.
every bridge. Like Tobey Maguire'd his ass. Like it's just like Zach Braff and Tobey Maguire should have like a fucking buddy cop movie where they just aren't allowed in Hollywood. It's just like yeah, nah. So yeah, that's the answer. That would be my answer. I would rather something have a bad ending because then you can go back and watch it, and you get to choose whenever it ends.
I think I'd prefer it just doesn't have an ending. I'd rather have once again like you almost said like the hope.
Yeah.
Thing is like I can at least maybe, and then I could just come to my own conclusions in my head if I really want to.
Case in point, Firefly, bringing Firefly back up. Guess who owns Firefly now?
Years later, it's like oh shit, movie.
Well, guess what? Disney owns Firefly now.
Holy
yeah. Yeah, doesn't that just make you very upset? I'm sorry to do that because guess what? It's still not going to happen.
No.
It's still not going to happen.
I don't know. Nobody thought you were going to make any more Star Wars movies for a while there.
Bro, it's Star Wars. They were always going to make another Star Wars movie.
Dude, not until Disney. George Lucas was like, oh, I'm done.
Well, apparently he knew something.
Apparently he sold it to Disney.
I don't know.
I was going to say, if Disney hadn't acquired Star Wars, there would not have been more Star Wars movies.
I don't know. It just...
Because George Lucas was straight just like, oh no.
Oh no, George Lucas wasn't going to make another.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're right. Until I think whoever was going to buy it was going to make. Obviously, if they're buying it, they're going to make another movie.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty much all I meant. But yeah, no, I agree with you. George Lucas was definitely not going to make another Star Wars movie because he knew better at that point. Yeah.
But even going back to Batman Beyond, I just remember Batman Beyond didn't get a proper ending in television series.
Nope.
Got a proper ending in Justice League Unlimited.
Yep.
I remember that. I just remembered about that.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's what I almost like. There's just always still the slimmest chance when a show just doesn't get an end that one day they can return to it and give it a decent ending.
Sometime one day in the far off future, Disney.
And even then, if they never do, you can still be like, well, you know what? I'll just have my own ideas.
You can have your own headcanon. Yeah. That's fine. Nobody can stop you from doing that.
About it.
Yeah, you can have your own headcanon about it. You can be like, oh, and then what's that Simpsons joke where it's just like the dog died on his way back to. Yeah, it's like editor's note. Spuddy died.
Yeah, Spuddy died as well
because they just stopped.
I must return to my people.
I must return to my people now. Spuddy died on his way back to his home planet. Yeah. So yeah, in some far-flung future, Disney could run out of everything and burn every single bridge, and then maybe have to make a new IP in the Firefly universe.
Maybe, man. Who knows? I don't know. Now you bring seasons, and then there's even another caveat. Or would you rather a thing just continue into perpetuity?
That's it.
It just never end, even though it should, though it's terrible now.
And everybody, and see, that's thank you for bringing that up because that's the other option. The other option is people not letting shit go and just wanting it to. No, we're still having a good time. Just keep it going. I'll keep on watching it. I'll watch it forever, man. I'll watch it forever. Rick and Morty, please make another season. Make another season.
Oh, they got announced too.
Yeah, I know.
Fall, yeah.
It's coming out this.
About that in the news.
So can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah. Go for it.
I have a theory.
Uh-huh.
I have a tinfoil theory. We go ahead and whip out the tinfoil hats. I have a theory. I found it kind of odd that Adult Swim decided to announce the Rick and Morty season 4 in the way that they did.
Yeah, this is a weird video where they
did the most soft announcement for that possible, and I think it's because they didn't want people to freak the fuck out.
Probably.
I think they were just like even in the demeanor that Dan Harmon and or Justin Roiland delivers the lines for the announcement, he's just like, yeah, it's whatever. It's just season 4, man. Just like it's coming out. It's coming out this year.
Calm down.
Everybody, please don't stab any more fucking McDonald's employees. Just that is the bar that we're setting. Just don't stab any more McDonald's employees, please.
All we're asking.
That's it. I feel like it's not too much to ask. So yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that either.
The Simpsons, you got that with like Family Guy now, or just like
Family Guy is just the saddest thing whenever you remember that like just everybody involved with it is just so done.
Yeah. Or Seth MacFarlane's even done with it. Like,
Seth MacFarlane was done with it forever ago. Yes. He's been done with it since like season fucking 4.
He just can't stop because he's like, well, I voiced literally half the characters.
Yeah, I mean, he like stepped away from like a directorial role.
Yeah.
But he's still doing like voice acting for like half. It'd be like, it's just like with South Park where like only one of them is still like hardcore into the development part of it.
Yeah.
But like the other dude is literally like half of the voices.
Yeah.
So, and that's another example. South Park. It's like I don't really know what the fuck South Park's doing anymore.
The last season wasn't bad. Last
And
season was actually
fine.
pretty good.
No, I'm not saying that it wasn't good. It's just that it seems like they don't really know what they want to do anymore.
Yeah, because they keep trying to do like these like overarching like plots over the season.
And that's never really what they did.
Like, once again, this is the death, like you said, the death of syndication. Where it's like they just keep doing these like overarching like season.
There's a lot of. I think that's a really big discussion that people need to make right now is the death of syndication and what that means for the way media is produced and the way stories are written. Because I mean, the second you don't have to have because it used to be like back in the 80s during prime syndication, just to use that as an example.
Yeah.
Or even hell. You know what? No, I'm going to go to the king of syndication. I'm going to go back to Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
That's the prime of syndication. Literally, the story cannot finish. The reason why they can't make a boat is because then they wouldn't have a TV show. Yeah. It's as simple as that. That's the most pure cut and dry.
No, they really just need to they patch that boat, man. It's not
they
that hard
they
to,
get clearly
it's not that
fix
hard
that
to patch a boat.
It's not that, I mean, if you're making a coconut radio, I got bad news for you. You can fix that boat.
A 2-hour tour.
Yeah.
Like, man, they get past that boat.
Yeah.
It'll at least get halfway there and swim west. Like, fuck.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was prime syndication.
And also, it's like, how did nobody find it? Like, once again, they're on a 2-hour tour.
2-hour tour. I feel like you didn't get that far away.
Not have been that far.
Did they drift? Shore. Is that what happened? Did they drift?
I don't know, man.
Like just 500 miles off course?
They just hit that island. They just hit that island for no reason.
Things were simpler back then. People were way more willing to like.
You used to have a show about a kid named Beaver, so it did.
Yeah.
Or Dennis the Menace. You're just a shit kid.
Yeah, just watch this show about a kid just being a piece of shit.
It's just so funny getting older, man. It's like as you get
older, start not rooting for Dennis anymore. You start rooting for Mr. What's his face?
Yeah, you start.
It's like, dude, leave him alone.
Yeah, he's just trying to. He's just guarding over there, man.
He's retired. He worked hard his entire life. He just wants to live his life. You're just being a piece of shit.
Being a piece of shit kid.
Yeah, fuck you, kid.
Where are your parents?
Where are your parents right now?
Why aren't they watching you?
This is not my job. Anyway, so yeah, that's a difficult question. Yeah. So would you rather?
So like, your final answer is you prefer bad end?
I would prefer bad end because, and to explain it, I would prefer bad end because I get to choose at that point.
Or prefer end even if it's disappointing.
Even if it's disappointing, I would prefer a bad end. Because I can still watch season. You still enjoyed it at some point. Yes. So you can go back to the points where you did enjoy the show and then just stop. You can just walk away. You can just pretend that didn't happen. And that's the same, effectively, as it having no end.
Yeah, I prefer no end just because there still can be hope that one day someone will be like, oh, hey, I remember that series. Let's want to finish it. Let's finish it.
All right, so then I'm going to lead into a second question. Okay. Because we live in 2019 and nothing's good. Here's my second question. Uh-huh. Would you rather something still never get a second season or never get picked back up again? Or would you rather it just get shittily bought out by a studio and then get, brought back to life, but they clearly don't care about it and it's just way worse? See, there's two sides to every coin, man. You can have hope, but you can also have despair. You can also have despair. You can also have, they can bring it back. Oh, they brought it back. I want to ask
you once again, quantify that question for me.
Let me think of an example here. Yeah. I'm going to have to think of a very pure example here. What was a time where something was canceled and then brought back and it was objectively worse?
Oh, well, honestly, I can think of Family Guy. Where
they gave it the old...
And a lot of people still... I mean, there are still some good episodes in those newer seasons of Futurama.
I was just thinking the same thing, yeah.
Futurama.
See, so we were all excited about Futurama at the time whenever it got brought back.
I mean, there were some legitimately good episodes in those
newer...
But you can
clearly tell which ones were from the older... before the hiatus.
It's like a really different tone.
They have a completely different tone. The movies are good. But they also share that...
One of them isn't that good. I like Bender's Big Score.
Oh, okay.
The one, the D&D one. That was just
forgot
weird.
that one.
That was just super weird. I was like,
okay.
I don't know what the
that was the wild card option?
Yeah, that was
the wild card option of what we're talking about here. Wild card option. Same universe and everything like that, but the creators clearly wanted to do something different that had nothing to do with the show, and then they did it anyway. The one-off episodes like a D&D episode or a beach episode or like a fucking just like a weird one-off thing that makes no sense continuity-wise. There's no... Character motivations aren't there to do any of this shit, other than just they might as well just walked on the screen.
I mean, that happens in like all shows, like even before like Scrubs got to that weird last season that was supposed to was trying to reboot it. there was like a couple episodes like kind of towards the later seasons where they just like, oh, we're gonna have these episodes focus on these new kids because we're actually just a soft pilot.
This is a soft pilot to just introduce new people to see if you're okay with it, so we can just.
We need to get fucking get rid of
holy
Zach
shit,
Braff.
we need to get rid of Zach Braff. He's a problem. He makes Jenga jokes about 9/11. We need to get rid of this man.
But everybody fucking loves him in the show.
Yeah. That's another question. Characters who the character everyone loves, but the actor who plays them everyone
just a
fucking
shit
hates.
Bag and then just leaves.
That 70s show.
Yeah.
Fucking Topher Grace.
Fucking
Topher Grace. That's another show. Like, man, I'm realizing a lot of the shows that we like did not have very concise endings. No. Did not have very satisfying endings. Did not have endings at all sometimes.
Yeah.
It's yeah. That's not good. So I don't know.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer? I never watched Buffy the Vampire.
I didn't either. Was there like an updated thing?
It may have had a definitive.
Did they make a reboot of that? Are they making a reboot of that?
No.
Was there talks of them making a reboot of that?
I don't know.
I think everybody got upset about it, and then they were like, okay, cool, we won't do it. Which I wish more people would do. I wish they would just read the fucking room and be like,
okay, we'll leave it alone.
All right, cool.
You'll leave it alone.
Instead of just going, no, we're going to make it, and you're going to like it.
You know, just make a new thing.
No. What? No, you can't do that. That's not an option. That's the secret fifth option that no one takes, which is just make a fucking new thing.
Yeah, it's like, hey, instead of rebooting this beloved character who everybody know and love as this beloved character, maybe just make a new character.
No. Nope. I'm gonna take the old character and put him in a dumpster fire of a new show.
Or movie.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. That's what makes me feel better about the whole Netflix situation, is because with this whole talk of the death of syndication. Can't fuck it up if the season was all released at the same time and it was all shot at the same time.
Yeah.
Can't fuck it up. You have way less of a chance to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Let me quantify it with that.
Well, you say that, then there's the HBO thing that happens sometimes. But I guess they don't release this all at one time. So, yeah, they still release those.
They still do they do a weekly syndication or whatever whenever they're.
And you know what weird does it with Amazon does that. There's like no reason. I'm just like, I was watching Grand Tour and the new season of Grand Tour is like, oh yeah, new episodes every Friday. I was like, but
there's no reason.
But you don't have to do that.
See, and the whole stupid thing is like,
so you're
I know you finished. I know you finished it.
This whole season. Yeah, I know
it's wrapped.
Season's
you just have it. You're just arbitrarily like doling it out whenever you want to. That doesn't make any sense. Like towards the end of Steven Universe, they had a problem with that, where it was like, here's 4 episodes, and we'll be back next year. It's like what?
What?
So was that a season? No, it's just part 1 of this season. So you mean
you're on season break after 4 episodes?
Yeah. Because dude, it's expensive.
Are there 8 episodes of the season? No.
It's
like 30. It's
like 30. Well, how long is it going to take for the season to be done? It's like, oh yeah, like probably 3 years.
It's like, what?
It's like, well, that's not a season.
Just wait.
No, like it takes way too long.
Just waited.
It takes way too long. It takes way too long, and it takes way too much money. You got to make that money back. We got to get it out. Got to get it out so we can start making money back from it. It just, and that's with everything being outsourced to fucking Korea to fucking have everything drawn.
Yeah.
Which that's a whole separate issue, but it's very odd, and I don't know where we're gonna go with this honestly, because it's a very I like that question of the whole where would you rather things go, because there isn't a right answer, and it's very case by case basis.
Oh no, it's just totally it's definitely
it's a mind
opinion.
Yeah, it's a very good opinion piece and a very good opinion starter. Is just. Just, man, these people fucked up.
In one way or another. So something got fucked in this story.
This episode's
either bad end or no end. It's like some kind of gear got thrown and like some kind of wrench got thrown.
Something along the way we lost our way and something got bad.
Oh god, I just remember I forgot we talked about. I was talking about heroes today. I was one of the guys at work.
Yeah.
Like fucking heroes, man.
That is another one. Yes.
Ultimate original words like Writer Strike, man. Just
killed
that
it.
Show.
Killed it.
Killed that show.
Killed it.
That Writer Strike.
So this episode's
they had so much momentum.
So this episode's running a little bit long, but I wanted to ask you something else as well. We're just gonna keep this going. I don't fucking care. So here's my other question.
Yes.
I want to talk about another option that can fuck up a show.
Okay.
And I think that's what the theme of this little segment that we're talking about is things that fuck up shows. What about whenever the fans bitch so hard
and they listen to them.
That they listen to them. And the inmates are running the asylum.
Yeah. Awesome.
A little bit of that happened with Game of Thrones, as I'm sure you're aware of.
Yes.
A lot of
everybody's like, oh, we
lot of change.org petitions were made.
We want everybody left to have a happy ending. He's like, that's not what fucking Game of Thrones is about.
I just don't get it, and I don't
like
get how...
you know I love the guys over Super Beast Cast, the former Super Best Friends.
Sure.
Wooly brought up a really good point of like essentially Game of Thrones turned from a show where, because I'm sure you know the spoilers for Game of Thrones season 1 that came out in 2008.
People die.
Ned Stark, who up until that point appeared to be the main character of the show,
they killed him.
Beheaded.
They kill him, and
it's like that's the thing that would probably only happen in Game of Thrones or weird animes,
right?
Yeah, or animes, right?
Because there's a thing for that. It's called audience betrayal, and it's very rarely used over here in the West, and that's why it's very much used in anime.
Essentially, like Game of Thrones is apparently essentially morphed into a show where, Ned Stark would have got saved. Something would have happened,
right?
Like somebody would have be like, hey, I've got something to prove he's innocent, or
like somebody would have claimed the sword at the last minute.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fuck your shit up, dude.
Like something would have happened
because he would have plot armor.
He would have survived and continued to be the main.
Because he would have had plot armor if he was truly the main character. He would have plot because again, syndication, he can't die because then we don't have a main character.
Apparently, that's what's happening in the last season of Game of Thrones is people just getting plot armor bad, like just getting impenetrable.
Well, only one person died in the last episode, right?
I think a person died in I think a person dies in the 3rd episode, which I haven't watched yet. I think a person dies in the 5th episode, and I think maybe another person dies in the 6th episode. Yeah,
that's a really low kill count for
Game of Thrones. That's an incredibly low kill count.
So, so two other questions. The inmates running the asylum scenario where the fans revolt. They say, that's not really, this show. I know this show better than the writers. I could do a better job than that. I'm going to bitch on Twitter until somebody fucking does something. And then they do something, and that's a terrible idea. Please don't do that. Please don't listen to Twitter. That
was a problem with Legend of Korra.
That was a problem with Korra. Or even worse, the polar opposite of that, death of the author. J.K. Rowling. Saying stupid shit way after the fact that no one wanted to know.
I have to stay relevant. I'm going to just say a bunch of random shit.
I'm going to say a whole bunch of random shit. It's not like I can't just write another fucking book. Just write another fucking book. Who's stopping?
The movie makes so much more money.
Why can't you?
Why would she ever write another book?
Make another book series to make the fucking movies on. She just cut out the middleman. She's cut out the middleman.
No,
she's writing the screenplay
so now she just writes the screenplays of the movies.
Man, fuck off.
Hey, J.K. Rowling just isn't that good of a screenplay writer.
She isn't.
She's a decent author. She's not that good of a screenplay author.
Man, and it's also I think
people just don't realize no, those are two completely different skills.
I won't even
because you're a good author and you could write a book does not mean you could write a good screenplay.
And even then, I'm not even going to go as far as say she's a bad screenplay writer. Because I don't know that. I would much more lean to the fact that it's probably like a George Lucas situation where everybody's just like, JK, just come over here. We're going to suck your dick.
That's probably true.
You want to just do this thing? Oh, we don't care that it's a massive continuity error and a massive
Except the
plot
internet.
hole.
Luckily, she posts on Twitter a lot, and the internet at least challenges her on that stuff.
I guess.
Oh, hey, did you know the Wizards used to just literally shit themselves and just match it away?
Just like taking big wizard dumps. Taking big wizard dumps.
No one
wizard dumps.
No one was curious about that.
Nobody was just sitting on the toilet even thinking about it.
Thought about that.
Yeah.
Everybody just assumed there was just toilets.
They didn't assume that there was toilets. You had them in Hogwarts. There's a character who lives in a toilet. There's a character who lives in a toilet.
Even before that, I assumed wizards had toilet technology before Muggles for whatever reason.
Yeah,
or they just had outhouses. Even like regular Muggles had outhouses.
Look, you can have
they just go to the outhouse,
right,
and then magic it away.
Also,
why would you just shit yourself?
Why would the option just be shit yourself?
Why would the option of all the options of wizards being like, even like, well, let me just remove it from my body before it even comes out.
That one, yeah. Why do I have to?
Because fucking magic.
Yeah. Why would I want to go through the act of taking a shit?
Shit yourself.
Like, why do I have to shit before I have to get away? Because then that's still gonna be there. You're gonna have some dank wizard stank going on with your big wizard dump. We got on a tangent here.
We really did.
You're just talking about wizard shit. But yeah, if I'm a wizard, just fucking Tolkien style, be a druid out there and the brown wizard. He was taking some big wizard shits out in the woods.
He didn't care.
He didn't care. He magic it away.
A spot.
No, he knew that spot. No. He knew nature enough to know that was helping. Yeah. And so he took a big wizard dump and he fertilized shit. Yeah. With his shit.
But even like I said, even he knew he didn't do it in his fucking house, just sitting there, just.
Yeah, no.
Like, oh, I took a mess.
better Opio it away or whatever.
Yes, they're obliviated away.
Jesus Christ. I don't know. There are glaring issues with Harry Potter. It's still good, and the ending was good. It's just that there was a couple of things where towards the end she just kind of did things.
Like there's audience betrayal, which is fine. It's a fine tool. Yeah. And there's just like kicking a puppy.
Right.
And that's what I really felt like she was just kicking a puppy at the end of that series, where like just all the deaths she was causing, or just all the deaths she wrote in there at the end. It was just like
it's like, and you're sitting there, and again, it didn't push it over the edge to like where it was an unsatisfying ending, thankfully, but it still left you with like a. Oh yeah, well, all right. So
it was like
it was just
on
right
the
straight.
line,
Yeah,
I guess I would say for me.
That's fair. Because my whole thing is just like
it gets saved. It got saved by like the books is described as like when Harry does that weird thing where Voldemort kills him and he's in his mind and there's that little like Voldemort baby dying. You saw rid of Voldemort. It's like Bird's like should we do something about that? Voldemort's always like nah, that's fine. Just don't worry about it. Like just literally say nah, that's fine. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that dying Voldemort baby.
That weird like aborted fetus looking thing. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Harry just like breathing against like no, really like Harry's like no, seriously, don't. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Did they know about that the entire time?
You're going back to like...
Didn't they know about that the entire time?
What? That Harry was
did anybody else know that he was the last Horcrux? Spoilers, by the way, for Harry Potter?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, good. Because that would be a dick-ass move.
No,
if you're just like, my scar really hurts. He's like, don't worry about it.
That's the other part that kind of like sort of threw me off towards the end of Harry Potter. It's like, it really got to the point where I was like, man, I really feel like she's just making these up as she goes.
I mean, that's a legitimate way to write, I guess. So, I don't know. I mean, I still enjoyed it.
I still enjoy the books too.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the books.
I think, like to me, and maybe it's because I'm just spoiled because Goblet of Fire was my favorite. Yeah. I constantly kind of felt it was kind of a little bit of a decline after Goblet of Fire.
Okay, so
I feel like she tried to get too grimdark with them after that.
Okay, so thank you. My whole thing was that I would even go harder on that stance. Book 3 was my favorite. It was the perfect tone of like a little dark.
Yeah,
everything's still all right. A little bit of darkness, but we're still having fun. Everything's still fun. Everybody's not dying. It's fine. And you got a cool uncle. I would rather.
I like Goblet of Fire because I feel like Goblet of Fire was the last chance anybody actually had to have fun in that book in the series. And then after that, it was all like, fuck, Voldemort's back. We got to fucking deal with Voldemort.
No, because everything after that point was just like, oh, well, we got to have a Wizard War. Wizard War.
Yeah.
Wizard
War after
Wizard War time. No, because really it was just like there was all these other different directions that it could have gone from like book 3, 4, and then once 5 hit, it was like, no.
Okay, this is where we're going. Yep. We're going in Grimdark.
Like we still have a gimmick thing going on with like, that was a Half-Blood Prince, right? Which one was 5?
Yeah, Half-Blood Prince was 5.
Okay. So yeah, and like Snape was like, oh, whatever, in the thing that happens.
No, I'm sorry. Order of Phoenix was 5. Half-Blood Prince was 6.
Right, yeah.
And Deathly Hallows.
I don't even remember anymore. Yeah, Deathly Hallows was 7. I don't know. It just
I honestly want to start reading more again. I have the internet now.
Get you a Kindle.
I need to get a new Kindle.
Get a Kindle.
That'd be good for me.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Also, books, so we're talking about physical books. Books are one of the few things where I do like to have a physical book in my hand.
I am the exact opposite. I did not read at all. Bought a Kindle. Love it. Read all the time.
Yeah. So
I'll put Mango on there.
I just need a Kindle now. Maybe.
Yeah. It's just because
mostly it's me trying not to just fall asleep when I get home from work. It's just like I'm always afraid, like, I'm gonna sit down and read this book, and
no, reading just puts me to sleep. Yeah, like instantly. I have to I
personally make myself uncomfortable, but also I want to be comfortable sitting.
So I've found out through talking with people that some people read books to help them go to sleep. I don't have a problem going to sleep. Like I don't need 20 minutes to like calm down and go to sleep. I just kind of just like the minute I hit the pillow, I just go into REM, like real instantly. So I just.
It was really a better way to fall asleep because there's the whole thing.
Like I'll get like 2 paragraphs into like one page and I'll just conk out. Like it's done. So I have to like sit up and I have to like actually sit down and say like I want to read this. It's not enough for me to like just be really invested in a book because it still just puts me to fucking sleep. And it's not the book
I'd
putting
be
me
like
to sleep.
super invested in a book. Like, and even then,
I just can't
you
read
know
in
me,
bed.
I'm like borderline narcoleptic. So.
I also get massive motion sickness whenever I read in a vehicle.
Oh, I'm the same way.
So I don't really have a lot of opportunity to read because like that's the two main things that people do is like, oh well, if you aren't reading, I mean if you aren't driving, you can read. Then it's like I'm gonna throw up.
No, I have to have my eyes outside the car.
I have to see the horizon.
Yeah. No, I have the horizon. I just have that. I just have my brain just has to recognize that. Oh yes, you are moving. Because if you're not looking outside, your brain is like, wait, are you moving? Are you moving?
So yeah, that's a lot of. Anything else you wanna add?
No, I think that's good for the podcast.
Yeah,
that's good. All right. No. If you want to send us those emails, that's
yeah. Send us an email. Send us an email with your answers to our stupid ass questions, including
your answers, or ask us other questions.
Yeah,
that
ask us other random
about
questions. Yeah, just
from two chuckle fucks on the internet.
See, I used that word earlier today, and somebody had never heard the term chuckle fuck, and I was just like, you need to get out more, man.
So send us an email at that is halfbakedandhalfraced@gmail.com. What's the email?
halfbakedandhalfrace@gmail.com.
There you go. That's the email.
That's the email.
So
why wouldn't I know the email?
I think it's gonna be a podcast.
Yeah,
we didn't take any breaks today.
We didn't, and we went straight through the 2 hours. We just hit 2 hours.
Fuck yeah.
So there you go. Extra long episode.
I was going to put the intro and the outro.
There you go, man. So no time codes, no nothing, just straight big ass 2 hours of big ass podcast. All right, let's go get coffee.
Yeah, let's go get lots of coffee.
We're going to drink coffee.
Goodbye, Internet.
Goodbye. Bye, everybody.